Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Rise of Tiamat. We, as usual, will do a quick recap of what occurred last 2 weeks ago, as we had last week off, and then we will get underway with our session. So, team, you'll likely recall when we played last session, you guys were in the process of making your way to Subar, as you guys had discovered previously this small statue of a little girl that seemed to talk, and you guys decided to take that statue where it asked to be taken to, which was the city of, and I actually looked up the pronunciation. Now it's not Subar, apparently it's Sobar. So Sobar, and yeah, you guys were making your way to Sobar and had headed back down to the Boroskir Bridge. And when you made your way to the Boroskir Bridge with Verum, the white cultist or white worm speaker, as your prisoner, you guys made your way down. You got to the Boroskir Bridge. You spent some time there doing some shopping, but you found the prices were very, very high, and maybe did a little bit there, but decided not to do too much. And then there was this situation where Verum, as you guys were kind of off doing your own thing, leaving a guard, eventually made your way back and started speaking with him. He seemed very, very nervous. It was like he was on edge. And once you guys ungagged him and spoke to him, he said you should let him go immediately. And he did not seem to want to answer any kind of questions, but he was saying that essentially let him go right now. And you could tell he was definitely in distress. So the team kind of had some discussions about this, but really there wasn't like a solid plan. There was some threats to just kill him right then and there. And then eventually the team decided to not kill him right inside the limits of Boroskir Bridge, and instead take him in the wagon a bit southeast of Boroskir Bridge, and then try to interrogate him a bit more. And if he wasn't willing to give any information, then perhaps at that point you guys would kill him. So as you took him southeast, pretty much repeated that same situation, saying things about let him go right away. You absolutely must let him go right away, otherwise you're all in danger. Let him go. And this was very, very insistent. Eventually, Gale got tired of hearing him ask this, and nobody really seeming to have a solid plan of what to do, so he just made the decision for the group and killed him. So with Verum slain, you guys then took him out of the wagon, sort of threw him off in the bushes, little ways outside of Boroskir Bridge, and hoped to see what would whatever will happen to him there. Well, his body will be found or whatnot. With that complete, you guys spent the night in Boroskir Bridge and then started making your way southeast for Sobar. And on your way to Sobar, you guys encountered this large being, this large humanoid that was kneeled over a horse that was lying on the ground in the path, essentially in the road. So as you guys started getting up close, he raised his hand to essentially greet you all. You guys, for the most part, tried to just ignore him and just ride around him. And it seemed as though he was, you didn't realize this at the time, but he was lying in wait. So as you guys got close to him, he then turned and sort of charged. And this started us in a combat encounter where the team found themselves nearby this ridge of sorts, and he in the path. And you guys found yourself into a combat with this large creature, which you weren't able to tell exactly what he was perhaps right away. Some of you may guess based on some of the things that he did, but at least initially it wasn't obvious. There was also some additional opponents up on the ridge. This was two hobgoblin spellcasters of some type. They were throwing some area of effect spells down towards the group, and then from a patch of thick forested trees to the east broke some large orogs, which anyone familiar with orogs knows they are essentially big, brutish orcs, and those charged off to fight the team as well. As you guys were fresh off a long rest, some of you decided to go gung-ho with your resources here and blew them up pretty big time. So was able to decimate this group without suffering too much in the way of damage or wounds. However, with some of those AoE effects, and in particularly the large creature casting a cone of cold, that did spell the end for your driver and your wagon and your horses. So as the cart was destroyed essentially, and the horses were slain and the driver was slain, you guys now are without any type of transportation as far as carrying a lot of weight. As mentioned last time, this won't necessarily slow you down a ton, but it will certainly prevent you from carrying a ton of weight with you. So yeah, that is where we left off. Very quick recap there, as it's been a couple of weeks, so memory's not as fresh, but if anybody would like to add anything I missed, feel free.
I'm quite confident one of us was able to insight or do some kind of wisdom check for why Verum was freaking out, and we ended up finding out that he had gotten scryed on, and that was the reason why we decided. I know that Gale was pretty gung-ho about killing him, but that kind of reassured everybody, because if they could see him, they could see us, and if they could see us, they knew where we are and what we're talking about, what we're doing, etc., and that just wasn't safe.
Yes, yeah, you can go ahead and take inspiration for that. Right, so there was speculation that he was scryed on, and perhaps somebody was communicating with him through magical means. And as you guys posited that question, some of your thoughts on your recent adventures came back to you, and you knew that when you were in the tomb of Diderus, Diderus was a great diviner. So there was discussion about how that area, the tomb, was likely shielded from divination magic, meaning anybody trying to locate or perhaps communicate with Verum while he was inside of the tomb was unable to do so. But once you guys took him out of there, he would be fair game then. So yes, it's very likely, based on his interaction and how you guys spoke with him and read his reactions and body language, that something along those lines did indeed occur. All right, well, if there's nothing else to add, then we will go ahead and jump into our session proper here. Okay, so we pick up right where we left off. You guys have defeated these opponents here, still on our map. I didn't move us away here quite quick in case there was anything else specific that you guys wanted to do here. You do have a bit of interesting terrain around you, as well as these corpses of the individuals fell. And then, of course, you guys will remember that the large creature, he used some magic to turn invisible, and he was also flying, and you guys were not able to pinpoint exactly where he was before he got away.
Could I take some time to loot some of these other creatures, the other two spellcasters? And I think Dylan knows what they are, but I don't think Rasmus knows what they are. So while he's looting them, can he see if he can figure out what kind of creatures they were?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and throw me a blind check here to represent your efforts of seeing what you know about these creatures.
Also, did you see Libby's message in Discord, Adam?
I did not.
I'm uploading a view of what I'm seeing. Basically, I either can't load my character sheet, or I get this. I'm trying to figure out how to send this. Hold on. Or I get this like weird view, and when I click on the link to character sheet, I can't get anything to happen.
I would try refreshing your screen there and see if that helps at all. Based on what I'm seeing there, that looks very likely to be related to the DDoS attack that happened. So your browser essentially is not processing the information the same way. So it's probably something to do with the security stuff they set on their side. So yeah, I would give a refresh. Is anybody else having anything that looks like that on their end?
Not like that. No. My formatting is kind of a little bit fucky. There's a lot of like black boxes around all the little sub-menu things that were not like this the last time we played.
I'm not seeing any of those issues personally, but that's just me.
I'm a little worried because this is a work computer, so.
Oh, that could be because yeah, if your computer's locked down in any way, or if you're using like a VPN or something like that, it could be that on their end they're detecting it as like an unknown user or something like that, and then preventing the display of some of that information. So probably what we'll have to do is, if you're not able to access your character sheet, but you're okay with me clicking the buttons for you, just let me know what it is that you'd like to do, or I don't know if Noah would like to do that as well. Same idea. I could throw that over to him.
Yeah, she said it's okay if I do it because we're in the same room. So
You can hear me?
Perfect. Yeah, that time I couldn't hear you, Libby, but yes, actually from last week, I remember you were having some issues. So yes, Noah already has access to Armony's sheet, so should be no issues there.
Benefits of husband and wife.
Right, exactly. Okay, so hopefully that will get resolved before too long. But yes, with that issue, aware of the issue. So going back to Rasmus here, I would say you definitely recognize these creatures as being goblinoids. You're pretty sure they're hobgoblins based on the coloration of their skin, but they don't look like typical hobgoblins to you. You're not familiar with anything more specific of the type of hobgoblin this might be.
Cool. Can I run their pockets also?
You can, yes. So I'm assuming looking through all the bodies of these creatures, you spend perhaps 30 minutes or so going around to the different bodies, searching them, seeing what it is that they have on them. Altogether, you're able to find 2 sets of studded leather armor, 4 sets of field plate, 4 great axes, 16 javelins, 32 rations, 12 water skins, and you notice that there is pouches of coin on each of these. In total, you find 125 gold pieces. As you open these pouches and start collecting these coins, you notice that there is an interesting stamp on these coins that seems to take the shape of a snake that is stylized in the shape of a dagger.
I'm gonna bring the pouch of coins over to Kurtu while I go back, and I'm just gonna say over my shoulder, there's some kind of weird stamp on them. Kurtu, see if you know anything about that.
Adam, I'm gonna go ahead and inspect the coins. Let me take a look at these. I'll bite them, I'll chew them, I'll lick them, and I'll look at them too.
Typical gold coin response. I'm gonna bite it. Is it real?
Fair enough. Yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check as well, Kurtu. So you can tell that these coins are definitely real gold based on your biting of them. As you look at the coin, this shape, perhaps you've seen this somewhere before. As you are a Dragoran and very focused on finding dragons, you probably had some knowledge of creatures and societies or civilizations that are near to dragonkind, similar like snakes, snake folk, or lizardkin, that sort of thing. You recognize this as being the stamp of Najara.
That was the place right next to the Diderus place where they had the peoples who were trying to kill us.
Must be currency from that area then. I wonder if it's taken elsewhere.
I've never seen this before. It's too coincidental.
yeah, I mean, they're known for the bounty hunters there. We might be a bounty.
Or even better yet, maybe these guys killed the bounty hunters, right? And now there's no more bounty hunters against us. That could happen. This could be true.
Adam, what was the name of the region again, Adam?
That these coins come from?
Mm-hmm.
Najara.
Got it. Thank you. Sorry, Jordan.
Yeah, no problem. Loving your optimism, Kurtu, but we probably should assume the worst. These people seem like they were waiting in ambush. It's possible they were waiting for us. It's possible they were waiting for anyone. But we maybe don't want to linger here then for too long.
And they are very powerful for just wanting to ambush peoples on the road with having a cone of gold and fire stuffs. So this was not a random attack. We are targets.
Hey, Adam, this horse down below, is that one still alive?
No, as you approach now and examine that horse, you can see it too is dead.
We should take stock of what survived the explosions and figure out how we're going to carry what we're going to carry. We have two options here. We can either go back to town and resupply, or we can huff it to Sobar.
I don't think we need to go resupply. These creatures had a lot of stuff on them. I got 32 sets of rations. I got 12 water skins. I mean, it seems to me like, I don't know, they were ready to stay here for a while, or maybe they're a moving band of bounty hunters or something, but I suggest we save what we can from the cart and we hoof it.
I don't
What?
disagree. Do we have enough tents and other things to make the journey without the cart for shelter?
So, I was looking at my sheet that I had put on the wagon. Gale is unloading the wagon. I have a 2-person fur tent that weighs 40 effing pounds. And if I carry that, I will be encumbered with the stuff that I have.
I've got some carry weight for sure. I don't know about 40 pounds, but yeah, let me just.
I also, if my memory is correct, and it may not be right, but I think that we were like just a day's travel. Of course, that's with the cart, but we're not much faster than that. So I think down south to where we were heading for. Adam, how far away are we from that town we're looking at?
Based on the cartography skills of Gale, you think you're probably about 2 days' journey between now and Sobar.
Okay.
So, hear me out. What if maybe we push the cart over here, hide it in this tree, some branches and stuff, walk to Subar, buy some horses while we're there, come back and hook them up.
Ruth. And don't forget, too, if it's helpful, I do have this bag of holding for some of the smaller stuff that we can fit in.
Great.
My understanding from where we closed last week was that the cart itself is too damaged to use anymore. Is that something we
that's
established?
The cart
Yeah.
has been burned and hit with the cone of cold, so I would say it's seriously damaged. You could certainly repair it, but it would take time, resources, skill, all that.
Might as well just use our feet then.
Yeah, we're walking, and I'm gonna hand you the fur tent there, Kurtu. Can you put that in the bag of holding, please?
Oh, that's right. We have one of those.
And I be good then. Yep.
Gale, look, there's 16 javelins. You want to grab a couple?
I already have 2 javelins already. Do I need all of them? They're like weigh 1 pound each. Actually,
weigh 2 pounds each. Why don't you take just like 2 or 3 more, though?
okay, I will take 4.
I took 5. And then there's 32 rations, so there's 1.
I have 10 on me now.
If we can take an hour, I can find a safe place for us to stay each night. Also, I can make some good berries and we don't have to worry about all this ration nonsense.
That's true, but why don't we
Ration
save
nonsense.
magic unless we need it? And I'll go around and I'll pass everybody 5 extra rations. Because I'm
Thank
pretty
you.
sure we all lost all of our rations or they rotted away.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That is a thing that happened. So the only rations
Well-
we had left were the ones on the cart.
No, Adam said at the end of the session that the rations had coat of cold, that they would be fine.
Yeah, but he's talking about earlier when we stayed in that
Bog.
that thicket.
Oh, yeah.
With those.
Right,
Black.
so
Any-
because Harmony has Goodberry, I wouldn't worry too much about rations if she's going to spend a slot there. But just for precision's sake, the rations and water you took into the tomb are the ones that were spoiled that you noticed. Everything that was left on the cart would be fine. So even though it got hit with ice, that wouldn't damage the rations.
So there's 12 water skins also, so I'll pass everybody 2 fresh water skins, and then I'll pull the barrel of water off of the cart, and everybody can go and fill up their water skins before we roll out.
Sounds good.
And then there's some studded leather armor. I don't know about any of you dex-based characters. Harmony, Spectre.
What was that?
What kind of armor do you wear, Harmony?
Leather.
You can wear studded leather then?
Pretty sure. Right, Noah? He's trying to mail me screenshots of my character sheet so I can see.
There it is.
I
I'm pretty
know
sure
as
you can.
yeah, I'm like a druid, so I can't wear metal. But like that doesn't count against studded armor, right?
Studs can be made of things other than metal, so yeah, I would say you can wear studded leather.
Cool. I'll take it.
I wear hide. Letting
see.
all
Yeah.
natural.
So the studded leather will be 12 plus your dex, so that would definitely be better. So I'll give one of those to Harmony, and we'll like turn so she can change, and then I don't know. Do you want one too, Spectre?
I'm good. I'm a monk, remember? Oh,
No,
partially.
I always forget that because you don't ever punch nobody.
Hey, Bill, are you keeping track the tents in your bag of holding there?
Yep, sure.
Can I add also snowshoes, crampons, and cold weather? Wait, snowshoes, crampons, and cold weather clothing. That was on the card as well.
Are you guys looking at? Do we have a sheet somewhere of all the stuff that was on the cart?
Well, what I did is I noted on my sheet it was on the cart, so that's how I'm encumbered now because I've took everything off the cart and I need to give some stuff out. And I don't know if you guys, we should keep this stuff, in case I don't know, cold weather clothing. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
So can you?
I have
Bill,
I have
you
a
add-
list of it too.
So Bill, can you add the crampons, snowshoes, and cold weather clothing, please? Thank you.
In terms of what was on the cart,
Yep.
Jordan, there was like 37 rations left. So I mean, just like Adam said, we don't really have to worry too much about those because we can manage with the good berries. And then there was a barrel of water that was 3/4 of the way full, which I imagine is probably around half now that we've got all of our water skins. There was the hand drum from the giants, and then
That's important. We need that.
and then that statue that Gail's been lugging around. And then other than that, there was just some wood that we brought for repairs, and then there was some boards or one extra wagon wheel. But that's not enough to repair it right now, so everything else kind of pointless. There's some great axes, but none of y'all use them.
Hey, I got a quick question. If the weight on the Roll20, the weight is the weight per item and it multiplies it by how many there are, or is it I need to do the math? If I have 10 rations, it's 2 pounds each.
It should do the math for you.
I think that's why I'm encumbered. I'm like, why am I okay?
I'm gonna take 5 more of the rations off the cart if that's okay. Just in case bad things happen.
Load up. Adam, you said I found 4 pieces of field plate. What is that, like armor?
It is. Field plate is similar to plate armor, not quite as good and heavier.
I understand.
I have no interest in changing my adamantine splint armor for anything else.
Okay, then I'll just drop all the armor pieces back on the ground. Then why did I strip all of these people naked? You could have said something, Gil.
We just kind of thought it was your thing, you know?
I was busy trying to weigh my rations and how much it was.
I'll never understand how you weigh cheese, but okay. Man, my bad habit right now is I've just been clicking to move my token instead of dragging my token because of Baldur's Gate 3. Click, click.
Yeah, right?
Remember, guys,
Not
you can only cast 1 spell a turn.
Right. All right, so it looks like you guys have done what you would like to do here. Is there anything left you guys want to do here before you continue on your way to Sobar?
Just before we journey off, I gave those coins to Kurtu. Kurtu, you have those written down on your sheet, the 125?
I just saw them in the treasure distribution thing. I can put them in my pouch if you'd like. So.
Sure. I'm thinking we might need to use them to, if we get caught with some more of these bandits, we can use their coins to pay them if we need to.
I'd like to sort of check out where those orcs, the armored orcs, were coming from, just to make sure they didn't have like a little camp or something like that over there.
Sure, yeah. So you make your way over to that tree area there. You can see that the outside of this area, the trees are fairly thick, but after you push about 10 feet or so into the trees, which on this map you actually can do, you will notice that it's a little bit more sparse in the middle here. It's not nearly as thick, but yeah, you notice that there is a little bit of a ad hoc or makeshift kind of camp inside. There's not much here, but you can see there's like a couple turned over stumps where it looks like they were likely sitting here. There is also a few odds and ends. Think of this as like a hatchet, some split wood. So it looks like they were definitely in this area and waiting for a period of time.
Okay. I guess Hugo will just do a cursory sort of check around, make sure there's no sort of hidden like a pouch or whatever, any sort of like belongings. He's really trying to look for any sort of sign of who these people were and maybe if they had orders to find us or something like that.
I will help you with that.
Okay, so that I would call investigation. If you are doing this, Hugo, you can make the check. Gale, do you happen to be proficient in investigation?
No, I'm proficient in perception.
Okay, Hugo, blind check, please. You don't find anything of what you're looking for, nothing that gives you a larger clue, nothing that seems to be hidden in this area or would provide any greater context of why these creatures were after you.
Okay. And if I don't see anything of value, I just come back to the group.
Well, I will put
over there.
I will put my backpack on and say, well, we are one smelly dwarf and one cart and stinky horse's lighter. Wait, that's 4 of them. But let's get going.
Yeah, the sooner we're closer to more people, the safer we are.
I just hope the extra
always
spare
good.
wagon wheel that I bought is still handy.
Why don't you ride it like a unicycle on our way down? It might speed you up.
I paid good money for that extra wheel.
You got short little legs. It'll help you keep up.
Should we set the cart on fire or bury the driver or anything?
Why?
Spectre,
What?
show some emotion.
It's not really my thing. Look, I didn't.
You hired the driver. You introduced him to all of us. He
Yeah,
was
but
your driver.
I didn't know the guy. You know, these people, a lot of the time they work for us because they're in debt to us for the things we did, so, you know.
He was just
Harmony
riding our
over-
coattails. That's what he was doing. He's like a leech.
Harmony starts digging.
No, we don't have time, Harmony. And that other guy could come back.
I
Harmony's
I
gonna
am not in the gardening mood.
do the best she can in the time allowed.
And you're attempting to dig like a grave here, Harmony?
Apparently a shallow one.
As everybody's leaving.
I was going to say, based on in the time allowed, if everybody starts walking away, then yes, I will assume that means not much time at all.
Maybe like she'll take some of the remains from the cart that have been destroyed and cover the body that way. And the important thing is she plants a sapling nearby for religious purposes.
There you go. I firebolt him for you.
All right, you guys do what you can here.
R.I.P.
Trying to clean up or do what you can as far as rites, but not having much time, you quickly move beyond this area on foot, now laden down with some more gear. Okay, so you guys are still on the travel to Sobar, or Sobar. I'm going to make that mistake a bunch of times. Sobar. As you guys are making your way to Sobar, you estimated you have about 2 days travel to get to Sobar. Other than just traveling, is there anything in particular anybody's trying to do?
Yes, I am trying to get this goat to understand Draconic but he's been suffering in his homework.
I'll have you know, I am 40% proficient.
Well, it starts to get you're plateauing, and now we need to refocus. So I'll be teaching him some Draconic there, Adam.
Okay, a bit more challenging on foot rather than both being able to just sort of sit on the car and cart and focus and speak to one another as you're.
Well,
trying
I'll
to-
just ask him as we're walking, like, all right, tree, what is that? Okay, berries, berry bush, what is that? River, how do you say river?
Sure,
That
sure.
would be what it would be.
Right. So not as easy to do so though. Again, because your eyes, you're keeping your eyes open, looking around. You're not able to rest and relax. You're having to constantly walk. Right. So this is, I would say, not. So count these 2 days as 1 day. excuse me, for your learning progress. But other than that, is there anything else anybody on the team is doing?
I would like to remind everyone that when we first mentioned an interest in this town, or I don't exactly remember the context, but someone mentioned something about rumors down this way about the presence of doppelgangers in the area. So we're gonna have to put our Among Us skills to good use probably in a bit, and
None of us.
There's definitely doppelgangers there. It's part
You
of
know-
the history.
You know
What is a doppelganger?
You know, Spectre, if you would have said at the beginning, you would have gotten inspiration for that one.
I don't know about that because it wasn't something that came up during that thing, but
Oh.
you know.
I see we have a password.
Good idea.
Huckleberry.
I like it. Huckleberry.
Okay.
Wait,
Huckleberry.
what were those? Wait, what was the berries that Gale almost ate from that bush? You remember?
Shade berries.
There it is. That's the question, and there's the answer. What berry did Gale almost eat?
What do we know about doppelgangers? Anything?
It's
My
a funny
German's a little
name.
rusty.
Maybe Hugo can remember something about doppelgangers.
I would say
Let me think.
doppelgangers probably falls under Arcana, I would argue. So if someone wants to see if they know anything about doppelgangers, you're proficient in Arcana, feel free to give me a blind check.
I'm not proficient in Arcana, boys.
It's not my strong suit.
I'm just learning as I go along.
It's cool.
So I would say both, so Kurtu, I guess, really. So you're familiar with doppelgangers as being shape-shifting creatures. They take the form of other humanoids. They are known to essentially kill a target and then pretend to be them for their own purposes. They are considered to be very alien-minded, and understanding why they do what they do is usually very difficult. Sometimes they do sell their services for significant amounts of money, as they make incredibly good spies.
And what I really learned from that is I have used up 2 of my good rolls for the day. I only have 1 more.
Well, I don't think we really need to talk to anyone, right? I mean, we're just supposed to take this statue and put it beside the big statue in the middle of the city, right?
Right. I just think that we need to be aware of what we might run into there. It's probably a good idea for people not to, split off on their own and go do tasks in engineering by themselves, and then they walk back and it's not them anymore,
Why are you looking at me when you said that?
Because
You
you
were
wandered
looking-
off. Because I'll help you remember. The last time we were in a major city, you wandered off on your own and got lost.
I didn't get lost. I didn't get lost. I showed up late, but I wasn't lost. I
Yeah,
found my
sure.
way there.
No,
How many
I found
Stormwind
you.
guards did you have to talk to
Yeah.
get there?
I found you.
One.
Then.
Gil was freaking out. I thought I spoke to one guy. He walked me right there. It was easy peasy. Gil got pickpocketed though.
Yeah, but that's a starting zone, so this one isn't.
So, Kurtu, you said that you remember that the doppelganger, doppelganger has to kill the person and then takes its form?
Yeah, well, they don't normally leave them alive because if they do, just remember what happens is maybe there'll be two of them, and no, that doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. So they have to kill them, not just a dead person on the side of the road. So Verum, a doppelganger of Verum, is impossible because I killed Verum, and I'm not the doppelganger.
I don't think it's so literal like that. I mean, I don't know who has to cut the knife, kind of deal. But I mean, the fact is, if you're dead, you're not going to care.
I feel
but it's
like
important to because if I show up, if I'm dead, then and I'm all of a sudden appear, I didn't raise from the dead, guys. It's a doppelganger. There's no reason for a code word.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Look, we have a secret question, right? If somebody is away and we don't have eyes on them, and then they come back to the group, you ask them the question, "What berry did Gale almost eat?" And then the answer is shadeberry. And
Hey,
then bada
Adam.
bing.
how
Yeah.
do we know you're not a doppelganger right now, Rasmus?
Use the password.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Adam, just for
Do
clarification.
you want to fight me?
No, not really.
Adam, just for clarification, is there any aspect of the doppelganger has to be the one who actually kills the person? Does that
No, it's
resonate at all?
exactly like you suspected that they do because it's most efficient. Because obviously, if they were to just change and look like somebody, and then there's two of those people walking around, them being a spy is not as effective. So their typical, say, MO is to kill who they're trying to take the place of. That way, there's far less chance of them being detected.
Yeah,
but
it's not like witchcraft.
No, that's not that's not my question. So if a doppelganger saw us kill Verum, that doppelganger could assume Verum's form, and the doppelganger didn't kill him.
I feel like what they're saying is that doppelgangers can take any form they want, but
Well, that's my
can't-
question. Yeah. So answer the. I mean, that was. I'm not. Hopefully, I'm not sounding like a moron. I'm just want to know: does the doppelganger actually have to kill? Obviously, we can't have two people who look the same.
No. So per its abilities, Brian, they do not actually have to kill somebody to assume its form. But in terms of a tactical sense,
Yeah, but
it's
that's
better
not
for them
what-
to do so.
But that's not actually what the description of doppelganger was. It says the doppelganger kills the person, takes his form. So we're assuming the otherwise. We know for a fact that the doppelganger has to kill somebody, but we're assuming that the doppelganger can take a form of any dead person lying around on the side of the road.
I just want to remind everybody,
my
this is a side quest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Adam goes hard, so we want to be prepared. So here's what I'll attempt to explain it based on the information that we have. Doppelgangers are like changelings. They can change into anyone. They don't have to be dead, but the reason they kill them is so that if the living person were to wander onto the scene,
Yes, I know.
then they would know. Then everyone around would know, hey, there's something not right here. One of these guys is fake, and we got to pull out a gun and figure out who to shoot.
Copy.
But if they're dead and like stashed somewhere, you'd never know.
Right. So they could take form of my hypothetical situation. We could see a doppelganger of Verum because I know Verum's dead. Doppelganger didn't kill him, but we could see not like it would, but for example, a doppelganger could look like Verum, and then
That
we'd
certainly
know.
seems possible. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, with that technicality out of the way, is there anything else anybody would like to do before we continue on the way to Sobar?
Harness divine power.
Okay, yeah, so we will take that into consideration with our number of travels here. So,
Yep.
not hearing anything else specific, I'm going to assume you guys are good with the time elapsing at this point. So, you guys are able to travel the next 2 full days, uneventfully so, as you make your way to Sobar. So, you, those of you who are using Harness Divine Power or Arcane Recovery, you essentially could do that twice before you get to Sobar.
So we have opportunities to short rest, right? Like right before we.
Each night, yes.
Yep. Okay, so we get our HP back and stuff.
Yes.
Only other question is field plate. I know someone asked that. It is just plate mail, or is there other like mechanical?
It's not
things?
as good as plate mail, and it's heavier. So think of it as like smiths that aren't as good at making armor. So these Orogs obviously have their armor from Orcish smiths, so it's a lower quality plate armor.
Is it the same AC?
It is not.
Can I ask what the AC would be?
It
If
is
if I put
17.
it- Okay. So that would be the same as what I have now. So I'm not gonna wear it.
That's good.
I don't want to
Hugo.
dress like an orc.
I left it behind, so it wasn't
I
going
was
to do
gonna
much.
say, if you were like, oh, by the way, I took that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so
Is it? It's not worth money though, right? It wouldn't be worth because plate mail is worth a lot of money.
It potentially
Yeah,
could
but
be
it's-
worth money, yes.
okay, but it's like they were like 70 pounds. You know what I mean? That's heavy, Hugo.
It makes sense. If we had the cart, yeah. All right,
We
all
had
right.
the cart,
that's
we
fine.
would have
I'm
sold
just
it. Yeah,
greedy.
for sure.
I don't know if
You are.
picked
No,
me up,
it's
but I
cool.
want money.
I left the great axes too.
All right, fair enough.
But we have that bag of coin. I guess we probably shouldn't talk too loud about it.
All right, so as you guys are approaching Sobar, you notice very similar to the Borskir Bridge. This looks to be about twice the size of Borskir's Bridge encampment, but again, very many mobile type setups here. A lot of tents, a lot of very impermanent type of homes or buildings or structures. So there is a sort of a center square in this town. And as you are approaching and getting, say, within 200 feet or so of the entrance, the first beginning of these tent sort of structures, as you're kind of walking down, think of this as though the ground descends a bit here as you're approaching the outskirts of these tents. You can see into the center area here. There is a very large and very vibrant looking fountain that draws your eyes based on you guys knowing what specifically it is that you're coming here to find.
There it is.
Yeah, Rasmus is right there. We get the job done and we just turn around and go.
Yeah, I'll stay right here. I'll keep my eyes open.
How about we all go together? You know?
Healing mother.
I can see you from here.
So I'm going to keep the statue, close to my body as I walk down there. I don't know if I can cover it in a cloak or something like that. So
You could,
I want to try to do it like secretly. Secretly.
I thought you said
You were-
discreetly, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Who's teaching you common?
I'm doing
You were
it
so stuck in the
secretly.
accent.
I'm doing it secretly.
All right, so it sounds like Gale is making his way towards the fountain. And I think I heard that Rasmus is staying outside of the encampment. Is anybody else staying outside?
No. That's
Oh, I'm not missing this.
I'm just like 20, 30 feet away from Gale. I'm not just with the group in the middle, though. That's all it was. I don't know if that matters.
So you're
I'm
30
going
feet back
straight
from the
for
group.
that.
Yeah. Like I'll just lean against the tent pole or something and just keep my eyes on them as people are passing and stuff.
Okay, and then Harmony, what were you saying? Oh, might have missed that.
I'm going straight for the fountain.
Straight for the fountain. Okay. So most of the group, so 5 of 6 of you guys are kind of just marching side by side as you make your way to the fountain. Rasmus, you're hanging just a little bit back as they approach the fountain here. As you guys get to where this fountain is, as I mentioned, it's a very vibrant looking fountain. And everything on this image that I'm about to show you is accurate except for the shape in the water. Alright, so this is what you see in the center of this encampment. You notice a lot of water is being emitted from different parts or artifices of this fountain itself. The fountain is probably 80 feet in diameter or something along those lines. Very large, very elaborate.
So, Harmony, I think. Wait, let me ask the statue. So, was your name? We're supposed to take you to Raylor, statue lady.
And you hear a slight little giggling voice that says, "No, Paylor."
Oh. Could you spell that in chat, please?
Paylor is the deity that is associated with this angelic story.
Oh, that's right. Paylor. I'm sorry. We're almost there. Hang tight. So, Armini, we're looking for Paylor. Do you think that's them? I don't know.
And as you say that, you can feel almost like a tug from the statue. It's not strong enough to move you, but you can feel like it yearns and it wants to go towards the statue.
Okay. Okay. Hang in. Almost there. Couple more steps. I will. Come on, Armini. Keep up. and I will yield to its guidance.
Harmony
and-
is looking for like an empty space where like a child statue should.
Oh, that's a
have
very
been.
smart idea.
Yes, and as you look specifically for that, Harmony, you notice as you get to the rim of the basin of the fountain, down below there are different statues in the shape of small children. Each one of them is a different shape. Some are like hands folded out, some are hands clutched around their sides or to their chest. But there is one very prominent spot where, based on just doing spacing and thinking every, say, 30 feet or so around the fountain, is another one of these statues actually in the water, and you notice one is just not there.
Harmony whispers to the statue, "Is that your home?"
And I would say, Gale, once again, you feel almost as though the statue is cool, like it's getting colder in your arms, and again, you can feel it just trying to pull you there. Again, not physically, it's almost like a mental ping.
This is the moment, Harmony. I feel like I should have a speech ready, so I will walk up, and I will start to put the little girl statue down and say, may you and Paylor be united together and never be separated again. It was nice knowing you, and I'm gonna set it down and pat at the top of the little girl's head and say, have a nice day.
As this is happening, I'm gonna hang back a little bit in case like a bunch of holy water splashes up. That feels like a bad place to be for me.
Fair enough.
That was beautiful, Gale.
Oh,
And Hugo's
thank
looking
you.
around everybody. Like there's villagers and people, right?
So
around here?
I don't think of them necessarily as villagers, but yes, there's a lot of people around here. They have a very transient look upon them, so most folks are dressed in sort of very loose-fitting clothing. Larger shoes seems to be very popular in this area. Very colorful clothing as well. A lot of bright blues, greens, and reds. And yeah, so everybody seems to be on the go. No one's really loitering. Everybody's going about their business. You can hear hawkers occasionally calling out, trying to sell services, and so on.
Okay.
So nobody's really paying attention to what Gale is doing. If we look around,
I mean, nothing that is so obvious that you can be like, oh, there's a guy right there staring at us.
sure.
Hugo specifically is making sure there's no sick people near him, because this was supposed to have like healing. This fountain was supposed to have like healing properties or something like that. So he doesn't like sick people, so he's trying to stay. If he notices any of them, he's like moving away a little bit if they're like passing close to him.
Fair enough. Okay, so Gale, as you place the statue on the rim of the basin, you feel it almost as though it like connects here, and the statue itself, as you take your hands off of it, without any push or anything, it just topples into the water. And as this occurs, you notice it hits the water, and then it just kind of spirals down and moves a good 5 or 6 feet horizontally, as though it's being tugged with great force, and it lands exactly in that spot that Harmony deduced was where the statue should indeed go. As this occurs, you notice a large bubble moving through the water and popping to the surface, and as it does, you now notice this youthful-looking, childish face of a humanoid, as depicted in the picture, hugging the basin there of the fountain. And you notice a bright smile on this watery figure's face, and it's only there for just a brief moment before you see it raises its hand across the surface of the fountain's water, and you start to notice like an effervescent shining there before the figure just evaporates into the water.
I reach out in very dramatic Hollywood fashion to reach out to the child's arms and say goodbye.
Give me a blind check as you do so. You notice where this effervescent shining is, like you're kind of reaching out, you're leaning over towards the basin here. You notice in this water, it's like kind of shimmering, and it has a very strange effect. It almost like 3 different pools of water on the surface of the fountain's water. And in looking at each of these pools, you can see images. It's hard to make out exactly what they are, but you notice like lights and structures and buildings and maybe even a statue here or there. And as you look at each one just very briefly, you're kind of at a loss until finally you realize the far left one, this seems to depict Waterdeep.
Armin, do you see that? Can I touch it, Adam? Can I touch the water deep one?
No,
You can.
I reach out and touch the water deep one.
Gale disappears.
As
Oh,
you
no.
touch the water deep one, yes, you all notice as you see Gale's form just sort of gets sucked into this pool of water as he vanishes before your eyes.
All right. So what do the other towns look like?
Yes, as you approach and you want to take a look at those, you do notice other shapes here. They clearly depict some kind of cities or towns, but I will need history checks to see if you're able to recognize them just based on this vision.
Hugo like runs up to the edge too and like is looking for Gale mostly, but can he aid Kurtu?
Since Kurtu
Or is
already
it
made
that-
his own check and it was really bad, you can just go ahead and make your own check.
Adam, I want to say after
them soon.
after seeing Gale get sucked away, that would be my cue to run over.
Okay, so which one are you focused on here, Hugo? The second or the third pool?
I'll say the third one.
Okay, you shockingly, based on your very high check, somehow recognize this to be Scornubel, which is a city that is here on the Sword Coast. It is southeast of your current position. It is due east of El Terrell, which is another town you may be familiar with. So let me go ahead and reveal that on the map here momentarily, just so you got an idea where that's at.
And it's also vaguely closer to where we think the Well of Dragons is.
It is indeed.
Oh yeah, that's Scornubel. You don't know that, Kurtu?
I've never
Huh.
been there.
Which one did Gale touch? What did he do? Did he just touch it?
Yeah, he went to Waterdeep, I think.
Can
Or
I
it's
go
a
over
trap.
to that one, Adam? Is it still there?
It is, yes. As you're looking at this pool, you can see it is still lit up, but you start to notice little ripples as though these pools, all of them, are starting very slowly to shrink it.
Oh god.
I'll touch
Well,
it.
we gotta make quick decision.
Let's go to Waterdeep.
Rasmus,
Yeah,
you
I
touch
touched
it, and poof, you are gone. Okay, so you guys are
Let's
starting
dive
to get
in.
the hint here. Is there anybody that is not touching it?
I just wanna go off walking, No, we're not going.
Before I touch it, I want to try to identify the
Sure.
second one.
Yeah, give me another blind check, and you're kind of focusing here, trying to detect, look at the spots, anything that sticks out to you as you notice everybody else just touching this and vanishing. Yes, the second one is not as difficult to determine. It represents Neverwinter.
Okay. And Hugo files that away and holds his nose and then dives into the water deep one.
All right, as you dive in, you two are whisked away. And yes, team, after touching this pool, each of you find yourself whisked back to Waterdeep. As you arrive in the city of Waterdeep, you notice it is much like you remember it. Those of you that have been here before, sort of looking around, seeing what you see, you realize you are at a very large fountain here in the center of Waterdeep. As you look back towards the fountain and at each other, kind of touching upon yourselves, making sure you're all whole and nothing is amiss or awry, you feel to be in just fine shape. You notice this effervescent water sort of shimmers again just momentarily and fades away. You're not sure exactly how you know this, but you get this strange sensation that while this may work again, it is certainly limited in its use. It only will work every so often, and you're not quite sure how often that is, but most likely measured in a matter of days or longer.
Cool.
Very
Are we like drenched, or did we just
You're
like
not.
magic?
No, you're like whisked. It's almost as though there was a bubble around you as you transfer through the water, and you come out completely dry.
Thank
That
God.
was cool. Oh,
Let's go get ale.
my head is spinning. Your head's spinning? What happened? Oh,
What a trip,
Let's
man.
go
Well, my
get
mind is certainly
some
boggled.
ale. Let's get some ale.
We made it. We were way over here at Waterdeep. I knew. Oh, it was so good to put her back. And Rasmus, you risked your life to put her back. I give you a big hug. We're in Waterdeep. Ah.
Yeah, water deep. I've been here a few times.
I prefer the forest, but it's all right.
Yeah, I agree, Harmony. It's okay, but they've got great beer, ale, mead, liquor. What do you like?
Sweet.
Say no more. Lead the way. It's
I'm
time to
looking
wet
around
the
for
whistle.
pickpockets.
Kurtu, it's time for a very important D20 roll for you. Just roll me a D20.
I was
whenever
just
you're
gonna
ready.
message you. I was like, okay, let me send Adam a whisper, right? So,
Oh man.
Adam, I'm gonna ask you another question. If my roll is standard, in other words, not very good, am I able to do the sorcery point thing for that, or how does that work?
So technically, you are rolling on behalf of somebody else here. So no, unfortunately not. You're essentially rolling their check.
And
What is
remember, I think I
happening right now?
+2'd on that one there too. I spent the extra gold on that.
You did, yeah. So doing a quick tally, you've got a +3.
Okay. Yep.
So you're rolling for him. He has his own modifier, and then we're adding +3 on top of that. And your target number here, I don't think I gave you the target number.
I think you said a 2.
No, I did give it to you. It's DC 15.
I thought that's what it was actually. I think I remember that.
Hey Rasmus, why is Kurtu looking silly?
Doesn't he always?
Oh. So the +3, that'd be a 14, Adam.
But then you get to add his modifier as well. So he is a shopkeeper, so you can take a good guess that it's not 0.
All right, cool. Yeah, so many years ago, when we went Waterdeep, I remember we had coins and I spent my coins. It was because I tried to pay someone to go find me a cloak.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, I was just about to send you a message out. I was like, oh, let me see where I can send. That's funny.
Oh,
Great.
I
Yeah.
also had someone building me that polar bear cloak, and it's definitely ready now. You remember?
I don't, but that was a non-magical cloak, then it's definitely ready now, yes.
Yeah, I already paid for it and everything.
Oh, are we
Nice.
doing an outfit montage?
I just need to go pick it up. I had it
It's a
custom made.
shopping episode, y'all.
Yeah, I think I
To the
paid like
shopping.
12, 1300 gold for a chance of getting the magic cloak.
So yes, when you're ready to basically hit up that shop, I mean, we don't necessarily need to RP this out, but that is a successful check. So yes, you've already paid the gold. So essentially, you can add the cloak to your sheet.
And Adam, it's pretty, right?
It is exactly as you requested it to be. So sure, you can look at it any way you like.
Pretty.
Hey, man, that's pretty.
Not to be a downer, but should we be on the lookout for any sort of enemies you all have made here?
No.
Usually,
We have no enemies here, Hugo. We are
Oh, yeah. We're good.
good standing citizens.
Aside from the usual pickpockets.
Oh, gosh, we should probably go talk to Dala, guys.
No, you should talk to Dala. I am not talking to Dala.
I can go.
Nala.
That's our friend.
I want to get credit.
I need to go talk to her. First of all, hang on. Whoa. Before we go, I was thinking about this. I think we should. There's no need for us to stick up with the, anonymous charade anymore, right? I mean, we need to ask this council some questions. At least I do.
Yeah, it's getting a bit more complicated to try to contain Kurtu's greatness from being revealed to everyone and not suspect that we are on a mission to save the world.
Truth.
Well, somebody's got to know who this narrow vein is, right?
But then plus, like, if they were scrying in Verum, they must have been scrying on us anyway, and I'm sure that as Leroy would say, the worm is out of the bag.
Alright, well, can we stop and pick up my cloak now, and then we can go talk to Dala, I guess? And then ale after, yeah?
Fine.
Yeah, why not?
Can I pick up some roasted peanuts at the little vendor on the corner?
They only have caramel corn.
Yeah, that one ready.
But I am gonna guard my coins, and I'm going to tell you, be careful. These peoples can take your coin pouches, so keep it close to your eggs.
I want to pick up a healing potion.
Well, let's go talk to Dala, and then afterwards we can stop by whatever and grab it. But we need to. I mean, it's been over a month. She needs to know what happened.
And don't leave out the good parts that I did, alright? I'll be there with you, but just pump me up a little bit. Need credit.
That's fine. Yeah. You'll get credit. But tonight, when we're drinking ale, we're gonna ask you where the hell you came from. You ready to answer those questions?
Yeah, for sure. I'm an open book.
All right. Well, let's go get my cloak. Let's go talk to Dala. And then, if everybody's in agreement, I think we should tell her that we want to speak to the council, talk to everybody.
Hey, Harmony. What? A sidebar. What does open book mean? What did he mean? I don't know. Understand common second language.
It means like you can ask him anything and he'll tell you.
Oh, that's cool. I will try to use that in the future. That may be my phrase of the week.
Yeah, you're kind of an open book too, man.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys would like to make your way to the bureaucratic center here, looking for Dala Silmerheld.
Yep.
Alright, so you guys walk for perhaps 20 minutes through the streets of Waterdeep, trying to not get run over by carts that have some drivers that seem to just kind of go their own way without much care for who's in front of them, expecting everybody else to move. And for the most part, you guys just do that without too much hassle, knowing that you've got a focus otherwise. Maybe some of you look at each driver and think, does he look anything like our poor dead driver? But you put those thoughts out of your mind as quickly as you can, finding yourself to that center area, and sure enough, you find Dala there before too long. Those of you that have spoken with Dala directly will remember that she is a noblewoman here liaising with the Council of Waterdeep, and she has served sort of as the figurehead of your group in working with the council to keep your participation on the down low, so to speak. For both Hugo and Harmony, she is your contact that has requested that you aid the other team members here while you were there in Dragonspear. So yes, as you guys all arrive, you notice she gives you a large smile and welcomes you back, and after a quick round of just how's everybody doing, she invites you to step into her office for more of a formal debriefing. As you guys enter, there are seats available for you. She has a couple folks that are sort of helping out with bringing in some snacks and some drinks, all of that. She allows, again, just minor chatter until everything's set and ready to go. Then those sort of helper people leave, locking the doors behind them, you can hear. And then she turns to you and says, okay, well, now that we're all caught up and pleasantries have been observed, tell me true, were you successful in tracking down Verum?
Successful in tracking him down, yes. Successful in retrieving him or his mask, no.
Oh, that is
we did retrieve him.
Oh, you have him.
Had him.
We had him.
Did he get away?
He died while we were trying to bring him back. Yeah, Slate died.
I see. You see she brings up a fingernail and taps her teeth for just a moment. Well, that will certainly complicate some things, but no matter, that is certainly a victory. I must tell you that some of the different factions were really much looking forward to questioning him and being able to get as much information from him as possible. There's actually been some ongoing discussion of what means of interrogation would be appropriate or should be allowed and so forth. But so if he has been slain, obviously that option is not there, but that is still a powerful tool that has been taken off the table from the cult.
Well, Dala, that's not to say that we didn't do our own interrogation.
Were you able to learn anything of significance from that?
We were.
Tell me. You see she has this parchment down and a quill with ink, And she like looks at you expectantly, getting ready to write.
I think I'm going to kind of look at everybody. I think at this point, it's only fair that we talk with everybody at the same time, Dala. We need to reveal some information to the council as a whole.
And you see she kind of leans back a bit and says, well, the last we spoke, you all had decided that you did not want to be involved in the council measures, and it would be better to keep your names out of the rumor mill, so to keep you more secure and secret as agents for us.
Yes, but we believe that somebody was scrying on us, so I don't think we can keep that secret much longer. Not to mention, well, we trust you a lot, so I'll mention it to you, but there was talk of double agents and spies that the Cult of the Dragon had sent here.
I have no doubt that that has occurred. I'm doing my best to ferret anybody out when we can. Of course, nobody in high positions of power we would hope are double agents, but all it would take is somebody who sort of gets in at a lower level and then proves themselves for a period of time and works their way up. But as you can probably imagine, everybody is very much on high alert right now. So anybody working for us, the backgrounds are being looked over very, very carefully. There's been magic used to discern false narratives or false motives. We are taking every precaution as possible.
Yes, we get that, and you sending Hugo and Harmony to assist us was definitely well needed. They proved just irreplaceable now. We request that they stay with us while we seek the end of this, however long it may take, if they're okay with it too.
True friends are always irreplaceable.
Yeah, I mean, as long as, Lady Dala here is happy for us to accompany you, I'm happy to serve.
And you notice she kind of looks at you, and you see a little bit of like a reading expression on her face here, Hugo, as though she's saying to you, did I just hear what I think I heard, and waiting for like a response from you.
I will go with them.
And you see she nods. Well, that is good. I'm glad to hear that you're amenable to that prospect. Well, yes, back to the matter at hand then. Well, first of all, congratulations. As I said, you've definitely taken a tool right off of the table. I'm a little concerned, though, in your change in wanting to speak with the council. I feel as though you are my best weapons right now, and the fact that nobody really knows exactly who you are. I hear you say scryed on you, but most scrying magic, you need, well, something of the person, is my understanding, to be able to scry them effectively. You can't just randomly pick any person in the world. Do you think that the cult has some of your personal belongings?
No, but they were scrying on Verum, and if we were nearby, they might have seen us. I don't know exactly how it works, but...
He seemed awfully frightened that we were found out. And up until the point that that happened, he had been fairly honest. Our interrogation methods didn't have to devolve into mutilation or anything of the sort. He simply gave up the information that he had because he had no choice. He had lost his mask, and if he could not go back to the cult, what was he going to do? They would kill him, or we would kill him.
You notice her jotting some notes down here as she's nodding along, and then she leans back for a moment as though deep in thought, and then looks towards you and says, but something doesn't quite add up there. If he was scryed on, it's very unlikely he knew that he was scryed on, so why would his attitude change?
Not quite sure, but the magic that they possess is pretty incredible. For instance, while we were on our way down, we came across a group of, I don't know, maybe 9 of the cultists traveling together, and one of them used a scepter, and from this scepter they were able to project an ancient dragon or something along the lines, and It almost killed all of us.
So that's what that is. I've heard reports of this far to the southeast. They say that is what has destroyed some of the outlying villages. These stories that have come in of these almost illusionary dragons overhead. We were trying to piece together exactly what that is, but you saw this firsthand.
We saw and we killed the cultist. Yeah. What else are we? How would we be here now if we didn't vanquish them, Della? We also have the scepter.
Oh, well, that could be very valuable. Can we take a look at that? I'm sure some of the experts here in Waterdeep would be able to study it and discern exactly how it is that it works and its properties.
We know.
It is indeed valuable. So much so that perhaps you would like to purchase it from us in order to investigate it.
Oh my god.
You notice she kind of shifts a little bit in her seat. Well, I can't exactly do that. However, I was able to procure some resources that the council has given to me based on some of the other successes that I've been able to come up with. So I can certainly attribute some of these funds your way, but it is, to be very clear, not me purchasing this from you. This would just be funds going to you for you to choose to use however you need to outfit yourself for the trials ahead.
I understand completely. And he winks at her.
Well, you can hand it over to Hugo. I mean, we have no use for it. Verum told us some information about it. For instance, Hugo was unable to use Identify on it. You're familiar with the spell, right, Della?
She nods.
So, whoever made these, block them somehow from being identified and how to use them. We also learned that it's not just a projection, but it's an actual, I guess you could say, Verum said it was a duplicate, so to speak. And the only way it works is if you have, well, permission from the dragon, or the dragon's willing to work with you. So, we haven't used it, or tried to use it, because we didn't know if that meant we would have to fight this dragon turning on us. You know what I mean?
She nods. That was very smart of you. If the dragon must allow it to be used, it almost sounds like some kind of telepathic connection between the bear and the dragon. Yes, I would say that was very smart to not attempt to use it. And I assume you're handing this over as you're kind of all talking?
Yeah, Hugo has it, but yeah, he'll pull it out and he'll slowly hand it over to her. He gives another wink.
As you're handing it over, you notice she actually goes to the side, grabs this cloth, and takes it in hand with the cloth rather than touching it with her bare hands. She doesn't wink back at you. You get the impression she's like almost intentionally trying to not lock eyes with you. She saw your wink, but she's not trying to give confirmation or any other kind of signal back to you. But she will take the scepter and kind of wrap it up carefully. She keeps it very close to her here, right in front of the table where she's sitting. But she looks back and says, "Okay, well, that is good to hear. But back to Verum. It strikes me that if his attitude completely changed, and if he was very agreeable and working with you, and then suddenly that changed, that tells me that he learned some information. I suspect that the sending spell was used. So if they were able to contact him magically, they would be able to speak words to him, and he would be able to reply, even if he was bound and gagged and in other ways not able to reply, but magically through a limited form of telepathy, he would be able to respond."
It's completely reasonable, yeah.
So, with that in mind, let's revisit this thought of you being revealed to the council. I understand your concerns. I, of course, can tell you I'm not a double agent. I have no intentions of ever selling you out or anything along those lines. What I can do to try to help you, believe me, I don't know. But, yes, if there's some way we can build up trust more, that would be great. Because I still think that this is our best weapon against the cult, is that they don't know exactly who you are.
Can I jump in here, Lady Dalla? Well, first off, are these grapes for free?
Please help yourself.
Well, thank you.
Wait.
Very good.
Should I have not touched that rod? Why'd you touch it with a cloth? Is it bad that I touched it?
And, well, I don't like to take chances with unknown magic items, so I'm just being overly cautious, you may say. If you've held it the entire time and had no ill effects, likely there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't like to take chances.
What she really means is you haven't showered for like a month, dude.
So
Yeah.
he'll take a grape and say, "So Dala, so what you are saying, because I don't speak the fancy words that I'm hearing, but you do not think that the cult knows our identity necessarily?"
I don't think so. I have the information that I'm getting from the different factions, the Harpers, some contacts. We've obviously had engagements with the cultists here or there, fighting them on the battlefield, sometime discovering them. I've not found anything with your names on them. I have found a very small bit of writing that sort of described one of you, perhaps. It was somewhat vague. It could have meant one of you, but even that did not have a name associated with it, which leads me to believe that no, they do not know who you are.
Okay, then he takes another grape. Man, these are really good. I haven't had anyway. So there's another bit of our puzzle that I think Rasmus needs to tell you about, the mercenaries that I think have been after us. Go ahead, Rasmus, tell her.
These are very good grapes. I don't think. Gil, we talked about this. We're not being pursued. He has suspicions, and his suspicions are rightfully so, and we're thankful that we have someone who is skeptical all the time. We have not told you all the information we learned from Verum. Yes, that's right, Dala. But you must understand, we don't think you are a double agent. That's not what we're saying. But we've talked about the information we received, and we think that maybe a few people might know a few more things than you, and that's all. And we're trying to get to the bottom of it because it seems to me like they're rapidly moving.
The cult, certainly, yes, they are. They're doing plans all around the Sword Coast. As I said, we're countering them everywhere we can. So, if that is your desire and you really wish to go before the council, I can try to arrange something. But as I said, the moment that is done, your suspicions of double agents, even if there's simply an attendant there, your names will be spoken, entered into the record, your descriptions. People will know your names. They will know of you. That information will spread quickly. You may suddenly find adversaries on the field of battle who know what your skill sets are and know how to counter you. Is that surely what you want to face?
Kurtu raises his hand and goes,
Not me. I'm not going in front. I mean, I'm a great, speaker and everything, and I'm sure the power of Kurtu is going to get around soon, but I'm not going in front of the council. I will stay private myself because, I could always be in my room eating.
Well, now that you mention it, Dala, and we did have these mercenaries who we think is from that town that Hugo can remember because he is a smart person. But I do feel like maybe the gig is up, like they were after us for some reason after we left the Tomb of Diderus, but that's another part of the chapter. But so if you don't think we're spied upon, I am kind of now changing my mind back to going back into covert spies. I mean, no, not spies. Covert agents of Lady Dala.
It makes me a little nervous that I'm agreeing with these two, but if you're certain that your contacts haven't ferreted out anything like this, it's possible those mercenaries were just working for the snake people and the Yanti. Yeah, and
Lady Dala,
not the cult.
how familiar are you with the Kingdom of Najara?
Somewhat familiar. I've read some reports on the area. I've never been there myself, but yes. What was your question about it?
Just as a warning that it is them who we wrested Verum from, we believe. Members of that kingdom. And I think they may have taken offense to that. Plus, we killed a lot of them.
A lot.
Well, that would make sense then. Yes, if you've crossed with them, Unfortunately, the cult is not the only enemy in this land, as I'm sure you're very much well aware. But to add to more support to this, I don't really see the cult hiring mercenaries. They typically use their cultists. So your suspicions that these mercenaries were hired elsewhere does line up with the facts on the ground.
Well, if Kurtu, our leader, says that he wishes to stay private, then our decision is made for us. So I guess I will tell you the rest of it.
Democratic.
You can go up front in front of everybody and identify yourself. Not
I
me.
don't care.
No,
I
Rasmus,
don't care.
I like this Lady Dollar person. I like being there. This is
We
nice.
should maintain our secrecy as long as possible. If there's no chance that our identities have been leaked already.
Yeah, the minute that our identities are leaked, though, I want to talk to whoever's got the best beer on the council, okay?
Then we might as well take advantage of the extra resources we can get and the weight that working for the council entails. But until
Yeah, I
then,
hear you. Well, look, Dala, this is what we found out from Verum. It didn't require much of torturing. I punched him a couple of times, but that was it. Apparently there are worm speakers, as you know. There's a red, a green, a white, and we suspect a blue and a black as well. Verum confirmed that there is a blue and a black, but he did not know who they were. He did know the red, the leader, which is Severin. However, we knew that information already. But we did learn that the green worm speaker is someone named Neronvein, and he is very friendly with a dragon. We suspect a green dragon, of course.
I'll give you that idea, Rasmus.
Well, it's kind of like the old game of matching colors. The cult had already stolen the white mask back before Verum could ever get back to it. So when we found him, he was held prisoner by those Yuan-Ti of the Najara kingdom. But he did not have the mask. It was already back at the Well of the Dragons, which Hugo has heard of. Apparently it's a place, what'd you say? Where dragons go to die? Is that what you said?
Aram also helpfully pointed out an approximate location on our map.
And
Yep,
yes,
that's right.
so we believe our next move should be finding out whoever this green dragon and narrow vein is, and maybe that could be our next link to the cult, maybe.
Nerenvain. The name. You know, it's interesting. I think I have read that name before in some of these reports. I'll have to scour through them again and track down what I can, but I'm certain I've read that name somewhere before.
Adam, you know how like you can look at somebody's name now and kind of get where it was derived from? Do I think like if I think about does the term Nerenvain, does that sound like maybe Elvish or Fey or anything like that? Can I make that kind of check? Is that possible? Like an insight or something?
I don't think you would even need a check for this. I would say the name doesn't. It's not associated with any specific culture or with a language. You get the impression of almost like a manufactured name. Like somebody put pieces of things together to make something that kind of sounds auspicious, something like that.
I see. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all the information we got, unless someone else remembers something I didn't, but like we said, Verum was pretty forthcoming.
She nods, and you see she has this moment of almost like the wheels are spinning, and I would say you kind of get the impression based on how this conversation's going so far that she's thinking of what could have been or what might be, those types of things. Eventually you see she kind of regains her composure and nods. Okay, well, to know exactly what our next step should be, I think it's best if I consult through all of the reports that I have, see what I can find about this Nerenvain, and I will also alert the council that I'm able to take on some additional work at this point. That's how I've generally been working with them when some agents come back and are ready to operate once again. It doesn't mean they'll be ready immediately, but I assume now that you're back here, you, within a short period of time, would be willing to continue fighting against the efforts of the cult?
Of course. So what about the green dragons I should know about before I chop its head off?
Green dragons. Well, green dragons are associated with poison, of course. So that's what they typically, their breath weapon is poison. They fly, as you obviously probably guessed. They also are fairly quick. They, like all dragons, their presence alone can just cause fear in the hearts of mortals. So is there anything other than that you're hoping to learn?
No. Speaks with a mouthful of grapes.
She nods.
I'm gonna need at least 2 days of carousing. Alright? We went a long road. I gotta relax for 2 days.
She nods. Nope, I understand. That is well-earned time off, of course. So, yes, I will release you then to enjoy yourselves here in Waterdeep as much as you can. I will be doing the hard work here, hitting the books, seeing what I can learn. And why don't we say in 2 days hence, return to me here, and I will let you know what I've discovered, and we can go from there.
That sounds great. But before we go, Dala, I did just have a question. Did you know the adventurers that you sent to that castle, the ones before us?
I knew of them. I may have seen them, but I didn't have any type of personal relationship with them.
Do you know why they went? What was their purpose for going to that castle? What were they trying to stop?
Well, the Skyreach Castle was in the hands of the cult, and this was very early before we really understood what they were doing and what they were attempting to do. And some adventurers that were local in the area had been adventuring and discovered some of this information, and I don't know if they knew fully of exactly what was there, but the trail essentially led them to Skyreach Castle, so that is where they went and ultimately were felled.
So I will grab 1 bushel of grapes and give her like finger guns as I leave, as I start to walk away.
Yeah, as I push myself up, I'm gonna say, well, Verum was vague about that, what the castle meant to the cult, but whatever those adventurers did, they stirred up their pot, so they may be trying to make some pretty aggressive moves. Just be warned.
Yes, I mean, at this point, we need specific intelligence. What you're saying certainly makes sense at a high level, and we're trying to do everything we can to learn their steps and the actions they will take. But yes, if you learn of anything specific, certainly let me know, because that is actionable. Nonetheless, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for what you have brought. Oh, and of course, the funds from the council that have been attributed to you in order for you to outfit yourself. You see, she says this very prominently, as though with each of her words putting a period at the end of it and separating it from any other previous arrangements or discussion. And then she heads over to this small lock chest in the corner, takes a small key off of a necklace, opens that and starts rummaging a bit, and then comes up with a pouch that she hands over to you, Rasmus, as you are doing primarily the speaking. And she says, here you are. I will work again with the council and let them know that more resources are always needed. And if they can come up with anything more, then we can hopefully have something more for you as additional successes and victories are attributed.
I shake my head and I drop the pouch of coins into the bowl with all the grapes, and I just pick up the whole bowl and then walk out.
You notice she kind of looks and gives a raised eyebrow, but then just shrugs and goes back to her papers.
Hugo bows on the way out.
Nice.
Good purchase.
Bye, it was nice seeing you again.
You see she gives you a smile and a very curt wave as you exit.
I really like your cloak, Kurtu. Do you like mine? check it out. I can put the head of the polar bear over my head, and he made spots for my horns. So look.
Yours looks pretty. Mine looks pretty too. Mine doesn't look as hot though.
So
Oh,
how
yeah,
much
it's
money
very
did she
hot.
give you?
I don't know. It's in the grape bowl, which, by the way, I took all of them.
And out of what we got earlier, out of the 125, Kurtu just gives everyone 20 gold because I don't. Out of the magic pouch, so.
Okay, add it to my sheet. Thank you.
And I guess I'll count the gold that was in that pouch, Adam.
You're counting it as you're walking through the city streets?
No, he's not
No.
doing that. We're gonna wait.
And I don't
for-
hand it to him during
No,
the
we're
city
like,
streets.
we're like inside of the interior of wherever we just left, right? That's what I
Yeah,
imagine.
you'd be inside of like a bureaucratic building, but there's certainly like workers walking by, people taking notes,
Oh, no,
scribes,
no.
all that kind of stuff.
Heck no.
Why don't we
We
wait?
just go to a
out-
tavern, I guess.
No, let's go to the best tavern, not just a tavern. Oh my god, how many grapes have I eaten? My belly hurts.
Usually.
I mean, they're pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
You got the
Oh, yeah.
munchies?
Somebody hold this coin purse before we go outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll take it.
oh, Army.
Make sure you keep it in front of you.
Yeah, keep it next to your lady bits because the people will try to steal it from you.
Harmony sticks it down her dress.
effective. These grapes are really good.
I'll watch her very closely as we're walking, and the people around her.
Okay.
So we
Does
find
anybody know how to get to the bar?
the best bar.
So it sounds like you're looking for an upper class establishment here.
I am.
Yeah, that sounds fine, I guess.
Okay, Gail, blind check, please. All right, you exit the bureaucratic building, take like 10 steps in an area. You're not even sure where you're going. It's almost like you're following your nose. And as you turn a corner, you notice a very ritzy looking establishment. The outside is painted very nice. Everything is kept up. Everything looks very clean on the outside. The sign states "The Scoundrel's Mug," but even that is done in very fine handwriting with gold filigree outlining in the letters.
What about that place?
It's right next to the main town center thing. Let's go to another spot that's not like so close. Maybe spies will find us.
Okay, well then you roll the dice and see if you find the better place.
I don't know. This place seems fine. We'll get
I
a
mean-
private room or something.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm just saying. I'm okay here though.
Great, let's go.
Okay, you enter into this establishment, and right away your noses are hit with this very strong smell of sage. It seems to fill this entire establishment, and all other mouth-watering scents are just hanging in the air here. You notice a very well-mannered patronage here. Everybody that is sitting around looks to be dressed in more upper-scale kind of clothing. You get the impression of perhaps lesser nobles, some merchants, maybe some well-to-do business owners, that type of thing. You don't see any of what you would consider like rabble-rousers or just your locals. So this is definitely more of a upper-scale type of establishment. Behind the counter, you notice one of the fattest halflings that you've ever seen. His gut just kind of hangs right over the counter as it's very low to the ground here, obviously him being a halfling. And you notice him kind of looking out towards you as you enter. And he turns his head a little bit, and as he does, he almost loses his balance and has to right himself really quick. And then he looks towards you, and you see him blink and suppress a yawn as he waves you over.
Okay, we have a friend already.
Don't forget to ask about the baths, Gil.
Hello, friend.
Oh, it's good to see you. I don't think I've seen you around these parts before.
Well, that's because we have not been in this part before. I am happy to meet you.
Okay. Well, to meet me, I'd have to know your name, but you can call me Pinus.
Oh,
What do you say?
I will not. I will not try to say that in my accent.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna.
Yeah, that won't work well.
Well, okay. Well, I am Gale, and my friends and I would like if we could have like a room, or a bunch of rooms that we could have a place where we could gather and discuss our plans.
Oh, a bunch of rooms. Well, my lucky day. You see he blinks and looks around for just a moment and shakes his head. Long day, long day. So let's see, 1, 2, 6 of you? So you want 6 rooms, I take it, or any lovey-dovey coupled up?
Well, no, we're definitely not in love, so 6 rooms would be fine.
Okay, well, we have some of the finest finest rooms here in the establishment. It's 3 gold pieces a night per room.
Do you have baths?
Of course we do. Of course we do. A place calls himself a fine scale establishment if it doesn't have baths. Yeah, you a bath each?
Yes.
Would you like me to send an attendant up to help you out? Pretty young lass? Pretty young lad?
I don't need one.
Yeah.
No, I can rub my own armpits fine.
Personal hygiene is artificially imposed distraction from natural living.
Wow, he raises an eyebrows. He's looking at you. What? So I'll take it as
He's
a
already
no.
drunk.
I don't need a bath.
You see, he kind of leans forward and does
you do.
if you say so, lass.
Yeah, just the rooms, I suppose, and then I'm just gonna give him a wink.
No, I will take a bath, but I just
Oh,
want
yeah.
the bath delivered, and that I don't need anyone to rub me in my
I
armpit.
mean, I'll take the rubbing. Yeah, send a rubber up for me, all right?
And you see he nods towards you. He goes, there's a man who knows the finer qualities of life. All right, well, it's 3 gold for the room and extra gold for the bath if you want. Fork over the coins, I'll hand you the keys, and you can head on up. Would you all be wanting some food tonight, too?
I'll cover the rooms for everybody, okay? It was a good
Okay.
fighting with everybody this last month. We did good. So, yeah, we'll need food too. And do you have barrels or kegs of ale or mead?
Of course we do. We usually sell them in casks, but if you want a whole barrel, I'm sure I can come up with something.
Yeah, before we go and retire, could we maybe rent out your private room as well? When you have a table, we can have the food, we can sit and drink and
Bottle
talk
service.
privately.
VIP bottle service.
If you want to rent the private dining room, that'll be 15 gold pieces for the night, but yes, you'll have direct service. Make sure nothing goes unneeded.
All right. Yes.
Oh, that sounds
that's what we'll
good.
do.
Yes.
You
I'll
see,
pay for that one. I'll pay 15 gold for that one.
He looks at all of you then and says, so food, drink, so you're aware, we got the roasted boar with mace and leek, braised bear with clove and grape pie, and steamed shellfish with saffron and onion.
Boar.
I don't mean to be. Are all of that cooked or not?
Of course it's cooked.
Oh.
You have
So is it extra to have it not cooked?
Most of us want it
You
to.
see he looks at the rest of you guys and then looks back at you, Kurtu. That's a different request, but you want it raw? Sure, I'm sure we can do that. Which of those did you want?
4 eggs. Four fresh eggs. Not cooked, just eggs.
Do you
Along
want
with
just regular chicken eggs, or do you like the quail eggs?
Which one's bigger?
Oh, if you want the biggest egg, well, okay, I will see what I can do for you.
You're a gem.
And you see he gives you a nod as he's jotting down this little piece of scrap parchment that he has. All right, well, I think I've got everything here, and if you need anything else from the private room, feel free to speak up. One of the ladies will help you out.
All right.
You get some rest. You look a little pooped.
Oh, you don't know the half of it, lady.
What goes on here? Are we gonna be able to get rest?
Yes, of course. Nothing. If you want to know the truth of it, I can tell you, but I'm not expecting no sympathy, you understand?
Well, I'm happy to listen.
Well, the short version is I had a little bit of a run-in with a witch, And she put this curse on me and makes me fall asleep at just random times.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
I didn't know it happened often, but I agree. You see he rubs his head, and you can see there's a bit of a dent there.
Alright, well, we're going to go to the dining room to eat and drink. We'll have our baths later, I suppose. But here, 24 gold pieces for rooms and baths for everyone, including you, Harmony. Look, I know you may not need it, but maybe just think about it.
Even if he doesn't take it, some of you could probably
Ouch.
use it too.
All right, he will accept the 24 gold. He will accept the gold from Gale for the private room. And yes, you guys are free to either head up to your rooms or head to the private room and have your fill of food and drink and merriment.
If you don't mind, I would love to freshen up a little bit and meet you in the private room where we can enjoy and not badly.
I'm gonna go ahead and start drinking now, so I'll take my bath later.
Perhaps before we all head up to the rooms, let's go in the private room and figure out how much this pouch is. And split it up.
Okay, fine.
I don't want it going into one of the rooms and then the bathing attendant finds it and takes it away.
Bring us that barrel when you can, innkeeper.
Well, I assume the barrel's when you're leaving, right? You're not just trying to drink a whole barrel here now.
Why do you order a barrel?
Because I'm gonna take whatever's left with us when we leave. Yes, bring it now.
Okay,
And a
you're
tank-
the boss.
And I'll pay you for it, whatever it is, but give me, I don't know, semi-expensive, the good stuff. Don't cheap out on me.
Oh, okay, a whole barrel of the good stuff then. All right, sounds good. Let me see exactly what I have down in storage, and I'll send up one of the lads, and you can pick one of your selections, and we'll have it ready for you.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, you all enjoy your meal, and yeah, I'll be talking soon.
Yeah, stay away from those witches, huh?
You see he nods, and you see he points up, and he's got these like strands of garlic that seem to be hanging on parts of the building. You're not sure what garlic is supposed to do against witches, but he seems to think it's really important.
Oh, that'll definitely work. And Hugo walks away.
He nods assuredly as you do so.
Oh, here's the room. It looks nice.
All right, guys, so other than heading to the private room and counting your coin, which when you do so, you find that there are 600 platinum pieces inside this bag, which works out to 6,000 gold pieces. You're able to determine that. You're able to obviously stay here, have a really good rest, food, drink, all of that fun stuff. Is there anything in particular that anybody wants to do here this night before we pass to the morning and allow you guys to level up?
Well, I did want to have time to talk to. I did want to talk to Hugo about if he has any experience, or even Kurtu, of knowing if there's any magical items to help give me resistance from poison, cone of poison or some poison resistance or something like that from the breath weapon attack of a green dragon. And then I'd like to see if I could find that item tomorrow.
Sure, yep, and you can have this is Waterdeep. There's a ton of different merchants here, so yeah, that's definitely an option.
Yeah, that's the one element I can't stop.
I just want to RP something real quick. I know I don't want to bug anybody about it, but Rasmus, as he's sitting there and he's drinking some of that good beer, which Adam, you can tell me how much it costs and I'll deduct it, but he looks over at Spectre and says, okay, so why did all of those devils want to pick a fight with you and just out of nowhere?
I was really hoping you'd forget about that.
I had to drag you away. You almost fought them.
Yeah, why don't we talk about that when we're a little later tonight? I guess you've earned the right to know.
Are you a vampire?
No, but
Werewolf?
You're not too far off. Let's go to our break because my player has to piss really badly, and then we'll reconvene at the end.
Okay, but don't put it off. I'm gonna get really drunk, so there's a chance I may forget it, but you're supposed to tell me no matter what, okay?
I will remember.
Okay,
and
so Rasmus, were you looking for ale, wine, mead, cider, or spirits?
Let's go with mead.
Mead. All right, your options are Grey Owl Mead, Musk Mead, Reaper Mead, Alabaster Mead, or Songbird Mead.
Reaper for sure. That sounds great.
Reaper Mead is 50 gold pieces for a barrel.
Perfect. Done.
Okay, Hugo, I think I heard you piping in there something.
Yeah, just when we have these sort of errand people that can take care of the stuff for us, I want to send them out to get a series of maps for us.
A series of mounts? You mean like horses, steeds, that kind of thing?
No, maps.
Oh, maps. Okay. Anything in particular?
Well, I'm curious. I have this charter to the town of Asbrook, so I sort of want to find out where the hell that town is, because I found
Sure.
it in a weird tree. But just in general, just as the Sword Coast, like as extensive a set of maps as I can, just so we have that with us.
Okay, fair enough. And I guess I will ask the out-of-character question. What are you hoping that this does for you? Are you hoping this gives you like bonuses on tracks? Are you hoping more locations on the map are revealed? Give me an idea what you're aiming for.
Yeah, probably more locations on the map are revealed, and then also just locating that town or the village of Asbrook as well.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so you put in that request to them, and yeah, they say that they will do what they can.
To fast forward the shopping part, Adam, can I say that tomorrow Rasmus spends the day trying to find something in the way of defense that he can upgrade to, like some bracers that add some defense, or a cloak or a ring or something? Can he
Subtle.
spend the day looking for something like that?
So
There's like
regular items
14
from
versions.
THB you can easily find here in Waterdeep. Magical items are all going to be a chance base. So as you probably noticed with Kurtu, he tried to find a cloak here, wasn't able to find it, and had to put it in special order. So then people try to track it down over a period of time. So that, unfortunately, we can't fast track it because it is going to be based on rolls.
Okay, that's fine. I just didn't want to, role play with the whole shopkeep, but I don't mind making those rolls if we want to say that that's what Rasmus spends his day tomorrow.
Yeah,
for.
well, that's exact. I'm thinking ring, cloak, or some type of poison resistance. I'm sure immunity is going to be too expensive for me, but something.
I've got a feeling probably multiple of you are going to, especially with getting this money
Right.
now, are going to be interested in
Yeah.
looking for things. So let's do that right after the break. That way we can see what is there for you, and then if anybody wants to put a special order in, that kind of deal.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool.
Yep.
All right, good deal. Is there anything else anybody wants to do before we go to a break and let you guys level up your characters? Before we let you level up your characters.
Hey Adam, this may not be important right now, but I'm going to toss it on in case you need to look at anything. But remember that glass that we got from the Chimera? I took like 5 pieces of those tiles, and I'm
Yes.
going to see if I'm going to kind of go to a magic shop as part of mine just to see if if I get anything for it, or if it's all helpful, or if I just throw them in the waste barrel. So
That I can answer quickly. 5 tiles from the Tile Chimera are not going to be worth much. If you're looking to sell them, you could probably get a gold piece for all 5.
okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys, so we will go ahead and pause here to take our 15-minute break. You will be leveling up to 10. If anybody needs a little bit more time when we come back from break, we'll go ahead and just extend the break a little bit. But go ahead and start your leveling up now. If any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see everybody in 15.
Huzzah.
Welcome, everybody, to our second half of the session. Team has all just leveled up, and we've applied a long rest. So, yes, we are ready to go and hit the ground running. So, team, you are still in Waterdeep. You guys have spent a very luxurious night, some having more services than others there in the tavern. But needless to say, a very restful, relaxing experience. And you guys are ready to go for the day.
I'm sorry, can we rewind? Because Rasmus wanted to talk to me about the thing.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Is this during like the night before the rest? During the morning? What time are you guys aiming for?
This would be during the night.
Yeah, I guess we can say, like, after everyone else had, like, squirted off to bed, into their rooms and stuff. I'm still down there with Spectre, and I'm gonna like put my tankard on the table and be like, look, whew, no one else is here. Now you should tell me, why did you want to get into a bare knuckle fight with devils?
Where is this room in relation to the inn? Like, are we on the ground floor? Are there like windows?
So the way I'm picturing this is you've got a common room. The private room is on the first floor, connected to the common room, but separate door, a separate wall, of course. The actual rooms would be up a flight of stairs on the second floor.
And are the rooms along the side of the building? Like, do we have like windows or any
Both,
kind of
yeah.
vantage?
So you could have had your pick, essentially. There's exterior rooms that face the wall, and then there's some interior rooms that wouldn't have windows.
All right. So she would want a room with a window, and Rasmus, you'll probably notice that she doesn't drink very much, but she was drinking a lot during this whole dinner, because she knows what you're going after. So she needs some liquid courage, so to speak, to actually get this out. So she is very drunk, and she'll say, "Not here. Come to my room. Bring a candle. You're gonna want it. This is something you gotta see to believe."
Okay, but can you help me at least carry the barrel upstairs?
Yeah, sure. I might need more of that. Anyway. Go.
Alright, I'll follow Spectre up to Spectre's room. And I don't have a candle, so I'll just steal one off of like one of those little candle holders. Just have the candle in my hand by itself. Okay.
Alright. So she's gonna lock the door behind you, and she's gonna position herself between you and the window. And she'll turn to you and say, "Whatever you do, don't let that light go out." And then...
Suspenseful.
I mean, you've seen what happens when it does. So she's gonna close her eyes and kind of look down a little bit. You're gonna see her body sag a little bit, and she takes a deep breath, and then kind of falls to a knee. It's like a sudden jolt that goes through her body, and you can see her sweating and struggling, and those scars that I mentioned a long time ago above her eyes, back when we had someone to like transfigure us, they start to bleed, and over the course of about maybe 10, 12 seconds, you see these dark gray horns, not as big as yours, obviously. I don't want to give you any kind of insecurity about that. They're gonna start poking out, and blood is like trickling down the contours of her face as these things emerge. As you're watching her fingernails, she's got her hands clutched tightly to her knee and one on the ground, and her nails start pushing out, looking sharper, more monstrous. You see patches. She doesn't have a lot of exposed skin with like her ninja wraps and stuff, but you can see on like her hands and forearms and stuff these like splotchy patches of gray scales starting to form on her body, and eventually it's not like a full transformation or anything. You kind of get the impression that she's letting go, but not completely, And
so, are you okay?
Nice music, Adam. Good job. She finally opens her eyes when you ask that, and you can see that her eyes are always red, but her pupils are like dilated. She looks sharper. She looks around the room like she doesn't exactly know where she is, possibly. And then she gives you a smile, right? And I don't know if you've ever really seen her smile before. but it's one of those creepy, uncanny valley smiles, you know, you see in like horror movies where it's a bit too wide and there's a bit too many teeth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she says to you, I want to play a game, Rasmus. Go find Kurtu and have him stand in that corner over there. And let's find out if you can stop me before I turn his intestines into his outtestines. I won't use weapons, just my bare hands. It's better that way. More visceral. And she kind of stands up and you see her pacing a little bit. Her eyes are on the candle in your hand.
Well, I can't go get Kurtul. I mean, he's sleeping, and you don't want to mess him when he's sleeping. That's not good. So this is
Come on,
cool.
man. What's
This
a
is
little
cool.
sport between friends? You know,
Does this mean you'll fight me now? Now
sooner
you'll fight me?
that depends on you. Sooner or later, we're all gonna die burning, screaming, melting beneath a deluge of dragonfire. We might as well spend what time we have left in glorious revelry.
So this is why you wanted to get in a fight with those devils? What are you?
Yes, it runs deep. It runs very deep. The blood sleeps, but sometimes it stirs.
So what are you, a demon?
Good guess. Something like that. Not entirely, but enough. Somewhere in between, in the corners of your psyche.
So why do you take the form of Spectre? What's your purpose of doing that?
Form it was what I was before I was altered, changed. If I let go too much, bad things happen. I told you before that I don't really work with others very often. It was a surprise, to be sure, to be assigned to this contingent because they always knew.
So you don't really scare me. You are kind of creepy, I'll give you that. And you kind of have a peculiar smell about you now. But I'll say this. I can kill you at any time, and I think you know that. So I think that's why you've behaved. That's why you didn't restrain or push back when I stopped you from fighting them to begin with.
That's not why. I'm not
You
afraid
know
to
it.
die, Rasmus. It's just, it works out for both of us. You, for all your many, many faults, are very, very good at one thing in particular, and that is getting into some fucked up shit, okay? And then we gotta fight our way out and enjoy the blood and the screaming and the evisceration, So as long as you keep doing that for me, we don't have a problem. Of course, when this whole Tiamat situation is behind us, after that things might get, difficult. But as long as we keep seeking out these crazy ventures together, you don't have any cause to do that, you know?
As long as our paths are going in the same direction, and this doesn't really alter my opinion of you. You have a peculiar set of skills, and obvious you have more things than you talk about. But why are you showing me? I mean, this must be a deep secret for you. Are you asking me to make sure you stay controlled?
I don't ask for anything except what I already did, you know? Feeling loose. Maybe it's the alcohol, maybe there's something in the air, maybe you're just easy to talk to. I don't know. But thought you deserved a little
It's the new cloak, I'm sure.
Into the abyss.
It's the bear.
No, it has nothing
You
to do
like the
with it.
bear.
The cloak is kind of stupid, honestly.
I didn't know demons were into bears. It's not stupid. Look, when I wake up in the morning, you'll see.
Well, vampires are. Did you see that video?
Only once.
Yeah.
But I didn't really understand what the wizard was talking about. But look, we're getting off subject. I don't really care about your background and about all of this evisceration that you go for. You know me. I'm not afraid to get in a fight with anybody. I'm not going to change that just because you ask me. You know? But if you like that, then sure, we can hang out more.
Like it, of course. What do you think I am?
So, can you just go back and forth between this form and Spectres, just willy-nilly?
Oh, I don't want that, you know? Now that I'm loosed up, you don't want to put me back in my cage.
I do,
I
because
haven't had
I'm
it.
sleepy.
I haven't had enough. And then as she says that, you see her, like, seize up again, and she goes back into her, back falling on her knees. And she looks up to you with a smirk. It's like, fun's over. As her features retract, and
Rasmus just
Pull
sips from
back
his
into
tankard and watch. Kind of dips it back into the barrel.
original form. And you can hear her labored breathing now, now that she's awake again. And she's like, and she goes, so are you satisfied now?
I mean, I guess. But in this version of you, can you tell me? Like, are you a liability?
That depends a lot on the people around me. This is why I try to keep my distance. You know, I'm actually better with swords than I am with bows, but when I'm up close, when I can smell the carnage, when I can feel the blood splatter on my skin, it awakens that in me. Okay? And that, I don't know what others think. I don't know if others think I'm a coward or what, but I don't want to let that out unless I have to. Get it? Because that
Kinda
whole
creepy.
thing that just happened, that was me loosening control. It was not me letting go. You don't want to know what happens if I ever let go.
Alright. Well, I'll keep your secret from the rest of the group for now, I suppose. But look, I think you probably get it. But if you turn on anybody, I'll have to beat the shit out of you.
If I hurt the others before our mission is done, put me down.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I don't know
You can
how
try.
else I can put that. Okay, Spectre. Well, look, you should get to sleep, really, because this is the most mead I've ever seen you drink, and right now
There's a
you
reason.
are you're spinning. I'm over here.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
Go to bed. I'll keep your secret. And look, we can't really change who we are. You know what I mean? But
I get it.
I appreciate your trust in showing me this, and also your help in going after Tiamat for whatever reasons you have for doing it.
I do
Still
what
a noble cause. Yeah. Whatever. And I'm just gonna leave the barrel in your room. Okay? Look, you can have a few more sips and think
That's
about
gonna
what
be
you've
empty in
done.
the morning.
That's okay. I drink a lot. What am I gonna do? Carry it on my shoulder? Get you a nice drunk sleep.
So
Take a
after this
bath.
very strange evening that you guys have just gone through and learned a bit more about Spectre, I assume then you're going to kind of settle in for the night and try to pass time till the morning?
Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking hungover as fuck, but you know, whatever.
Okay, fair
2
enough.
points of exhaustion for drinking a full barrel.
All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and fast forward to the morning then. So yeah, very strange night for some of you guys. As Harmony wrote, having some bad nightmares. You guys had this strange encounter up in Spectre's room. But as you wake up, the sun is shining in the morning, and it all seems okay once again in the world. And you see that as you head downstairs, there's quite a bit of patrons once again here, the sort of morning shift, eating some food and so forth. So you guys have the full day before you. You know Dala mentioned you had 2 days essentially before you should check back in with her. So let's get to it. Where would you guys like to head to first?
The bathroom to throw up. But after that, we probably should do some shopping. Like Gil was mentioning. If we're gonna be running into green dragons, I guess we don't know for sure that's where we're going next, but they're out there, Narenvain is out there. We should probably find some countermeasure to poison and other things like that.
I got
See-
money to spend.
Yeah, our pockets are feeling
Don't.
full.
Don't think you all remember, but hang on. And I'm going to fish around in my bag and then pull out the writ. We've got this 13,200 gold piece writ for Waterdeep as well. So we can buy some cool stuff.
Yeah, we're fucking loaded.
Gale's at the window and he says, "It's such a beautiful day. You know they're flying around on griffins up there. Do you see? Are those the guards? What is a fantastic place. I wonder if there's like a carnival around. Maybe we could play some games. I heard that maybe there's some festival. Is there a festival? Hey, barkeep, is there something fun to do in town?"
And as you look over towards the barkeep, you see him leaning against the counter, still a little bit yawning. And he looks up and blinks his eyes a little bit to you. Yeah, it's Festival of the Sun. That was, yeah, that's today.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Harmony, what do you think? We should have fun. So when you look at Gale now, he's got like a little greenish tone in his eyes, and he seems a little bit different than he was yesterday.
Yeah, I would say that you guys would probably see as Rasmus is sitting down at the table, he looks noticeably like furrier. Like not just his legs where his normally where his fawn part of his body shows, but like his chest is noticeably hairier, his arms are thicker and hairier, and he's got his two incisors on his mouth are now way sharper and pronounced and kind of point out of his top lip over his bottom lip. And he burps, but it sounds more like a growl. And he kind of looks at everyone and says, I have a trick up my sleeve to resist poison already, but I kind of wanted to do some research about Narenvain outside of whatever that is that they're going to tell us. Maybe we can find something out on our own, but I'm not really good at that. And then he kind of looks at Hugo. You wanna help me do some research, Hugo?
Yeah, I'm on for it. Let's do it.
And then we can buy you something fancy afterwards. I know you like that stuff.
I mean, I'll take it. I like the money too. You can just give me money if you want. I'll help the research though.
So yeah, Adam, I don't know if they got like a library or anything here, but that's what Rasmus would want to do. He would want to go and find some kind of library or, I don't know, maybe a record keep at like City Hall or something and see if he can track down the name Narenvain and see if he can find anything out about it. He doesn't mind spending the day doing it because he knows it's just a chill day.
Okay, so we'll assume that's what you're spending your time doing. And let's see, how about Gale?
Well, Gale is very restless and wants to have fun, but also knows that he has 2 days. But he wants to go looking for something resisting poison damage as well. So so I'm thinking, or some type of magic item as well. But and just in Gale's demeanor, he's like a little kid. That's where he's at right now. But he still will stay on task.
Okay, so it sounds like shopping is primarily what he's after here and feeling really good about it. How about Kurtu?
So Kurtu is looking to see if he can get some magic items as well, because you could, I mean,
What's wrong with some more magic items?
Okay, so joining the shopping trip sounds like that. Harmony?
Harmony is up for going to the festival, but on her way out, she would like to cast Remove Curse on the proprietor of this inn. Peanuts or whatever it was.
Remove the curse on the peanut.
Go ahead and burn that
I know.
slot.
Technical
And
precision.
I would just like to say for the record, that was a randomly generated name. I didn't make it up.
It's funny. It's when you write a name on paper, it sounds way different than when you say it out loud. You're like, oof, didn't think that one through.
She would also like to purchase certain items that she's on the hunt for, but she's fine with going and having some fun first.
Okay, so heading to the festival and then doing some shopping. Hugo.
Hugo's going to help with the research.
Okay, so we got Rasmus and Hugo researching. Harmony and Gale festival, and then Gale's going to go shopping, and Harmony as well with Kurtu. How about Spectre?
I'm with these dweebs. She wants to find something. She's specifically looking for something to deal with poison because her absorb element spell deals with everything else, but it's crucially not poison, and her con is not good enough to resist con saves. So yeah, we're trying to find something that will protect us from poison.
Okay.
Maybe, hopefully permanent, but probably more temporary in our price range. But I don't know.
I want to say also, just for the record, because Rasmus has all the money right now, he's going to hand, before we split up, Rasmus will hand the writ to Kurtu and then the bag of 17 gems that we have as well. Maybe you can use that for bartering if you want, but there you go.
Okay, so we're going to take this kind of in reverse order. So we'll do the shopping first, because I assume that's what you guys are going to do. So we'll start with the shopping. Now, magic items, as you guys know, are very rare. So there are shops here, being this is a very large city, that sells magic items. But when you have in your mind, like, I'm looking specifically for this, very frequently you will not find specifically what you're looking for. And that's when you have to say, okay, I want to try to purchase that and put the word out and essentially do like what Kurtu did. Now, that obviously took a significant period of time. So if you're trying to say, well, I need something right away, it's not necessarily that it's going to be available to you. So those of you that are looking to shop, what I will say is that it sounds like most of you are looking, think of like the type of item. So if you say like, I'm looking for a magic weapon, that might be one kind of store. If you say I'm looking for a potion, that's a different kind of store. So with that in mind, what kind of store, those of you that are going shopping, would you like to head to?
I was thinking more, at least like a cloak of protection, a ring of protection, at least. So more jewelry, clothing, and then maybe an amulet of resist poison or something like that. So more jewelry ended, not armor and not weapons for me.
Yeah, I feel like jewelry is probably the best bet. Offhand, I know a couple of things that can help against poison with that, so that might broaden our search a little bit. But failing that, if we don't find anything like that, we can try to go to like a potion shop to look for something like a potion that gives us temporary resistance, because it's better than nothing, right?
Okay. So
Harmony is interested in potions and magic items that contribute to healing.
Okay, so I heard jewelry. Now, there's not necessarily a jewelry magic item shop, because again, that's a very niche of a niche. But you do find a sort of general magic store that has some odds and ends. When you enter, is it safe to say you're basically telling them you're looking for some kind of poison resistance?
Yeah, I would. I would walk in and say, "Hey, do you have anything resistance to poison that could give me something like that?" And then if he says no, then I'll ask whatever he has available, kind of thing.
Okay, fair enough. So you ask the shopkeeper. It turns out to be a human male. He does not have anything that is poison resistance. So then you ask him what he does have for sale. He tells you he has a magical short bow. He's got a potion of climbing. He's got a potion of invulnerability, potion of supreme healing. He has a what he calls very precious sword that's magical. And he also has a wand of enemy detection. He looks to see if any of you seem interested in any of that.
When he mentions the sword, is that something like he has on the shelf, or is this like if it's very precious to him, I imagine he's like hiding it in the back or
You
something.
don't see any of the items that he just mentioned out on display anywhere.
Okay.
How much for that?
What kind of sword is it?
You asked what the sword is? Is that what you said, Spectre?
Yeah.
He kind of goes through this long rigmarole with really in-depth detail, but after he does this really flowery speech at the end, you get the impression that it's a sword that hurts people badly. He seems
Harmony, you were-
very interested to see if you're interested.
I'll take it into consideration. Harmony, you were saying something?
How much was the potion of, what was it, invulnerability?
Yeah, so you inquire about the potion of vulnerability, and he looks really interested for a moment, and then you see him start doing some tallies and some calculations. And as he does that, Harmony, going to ask you to roll a die here just a moment. I'm consulting various charts.
I'll give you 250 for it.
Roll me two d10, please. He says he will sell you this potion of invulnerability for 4,500 gold.
That's a little inflated, don't you think there, buddy boy?
He looks towards you and says, "Oh, on the contrary, I find this to be quite an appropriate price."
Harmony rolls her eyes and walks away.
I'll say, well, maybe when we are back here next month, or I think it's next month, or is it like 2 months from now? When we're back here, if it's still available, then maybe we'll look at it.
He gives you a gesture, which is very familiar because you just saw Gale do this. He gives you the finger guns. Mm-hmm.
That's very nice of you, acknowledging our our presence.
Let's see if we can find an apothecary or some other potion brewing place. It would be temporary for our needs, but it's better than nothing.
Oh, they're selling popcorn outside.
Not quite what I was looking for.
I'm gonna go buy some popcorn in my world. Sorry, Adam, I just inserted a popcorn vendor outside of your
That's
shop.
okay. That totally is fine. Caramel corn already existed, so popcorn too.
Great, I would buy some popcorn.
All right, so it sounds like you guys exit this shop and then try to find a alchemist or potion maker of some kind. Eventually, you're able to do just that. Inside, you see an elderly female elf. She's sort of just kind of looking over her set of all these different devices, mortar and pestle. You notice there's like a calcinator, just a whole bunch of different items here in her shop. Once again, you inquire about anything against poison, and you see she does like a tisk, tisk, tisk. Indicates that she just sold some of that stuff not more than a week ago, and unfortunately her inventory does not include anything for poison resistance at this point. I'm assuming you guys then inquire about other things she has. She tells you she has a lot of potions of strength of various versions. She also has potions of healing, and she has a single potion of superior healing.
How much you charging for the superior?
She says she will sell it to you for 1,000 gold.
And sorry, did you say there was a greater?
She does not have greater healing. She has regular healing, though, and she will sell you that for 50 gold.
Can I take 2 of the regular?
Yeah, she has plenty of those to sell to you.
I'll take 2.
How much are they, Adam?
Potions of healing are 50 gold pieces.
I'll buy 4 so I can give them away again.
Okay.
So I have a question for you, lady. Are you able to identify potions that I found laying around somewhere?
Of course I can.
So can I found this. I'm gonna pull out the vial from room 17 that we got 3 weeks ago. I have it written down as potion of. I said healing. I doubt it is, but it's on room 17, Adam.
Yes.
I'm gonna put that on the table. So I don't know what this is, and I'm too afraid to touch it or put it on my tongue.
She nods and says, I can identify any potion, but I do charge a fee because I have to use ingredients. You see, it's a very... And she kind of goes on and on and on, and eventually tells you that she will identify it for you for 10 gold pieces.
Excellent. And then throw in 2 healing potions, 110 gold pieces for your troubles.
She smiles as she does just that. After a few moments, you see she does like a little, kind of like a baster, but more of like a chemical, takes a little bit of the liquid out, puts it onto like a little platform here, does all these different like weird odd like kind of looks at it, puts different chemicals nearby, all this kind of stuff, and then she comes back. And as a reminder, before I tell you what this does, I would like to explain that you were going to use this on somebody. I can't remember who it was, but I remember you were
I
like,
thought about.
Yes, okay. So this is a potion of poison.
I knew it was a time bomb. As soon as he was like, we have to be very specific about where you found this potion. Like, there's no fucking way this isn't gonna fuck us in the ass at some point.
So, for the specifics of that, potion of poison, it looks and smells and tastes like a potion of healing. However, once you drink it, you take 3d6 poison damage, and you must make a con save or be poisoned. At the start of each of your turns, if you are poisoned, you take another 3d6, and at the end of your turn, you can repeat the save. You succeed on the save, it reduces the damage by 1d6. You have to get it down to 0 before it's totally done.
Wow, you learned all that from all the little chemicals and the gears that you use to re-derive the potion. You are amazing.
She smiles and nods as she hands you the potion back.
Let me ask you something. So this sounds like it's an ingested effect. What if I put it on my sword and I hit somebody with it? Would it have a similar effect?
She shakes her head. Oh, no, dear. You see, poisons work based on their contact properties. This has to be ingested because it works in the stomach.
All right, well, that's very smart. So let me talk to you about the strength ones, because I'm the strong one in the group and I can always be stronger.
You see, she smiles. Oh, yes.
So you said you had where different degrees of strength potions?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, can you describe? Can you tell them to me?
Yes. Would you like to be as strong as a hill giant, or a frost giant, or a fire giant, or a cloud giant, or the mighty storm giant?
Well, they all sound stronger than me, so whatever's the least expensive one.
Least expensive would be hill giant.
Okay, I'll take that.
Without even knowing the price, you're the greatest customer ever. Roll me a d6. She will sell it to you for 150 gold pieces.
That's right. Here's 150 gold pieces for your twubbles. And you are a wonderful merchant. It is such a beautiful day. Are you going to the festival by any chance?
And you notice she kind of, unfortunately, I have to mind the store.
Oh, that I've heard. I've never seen it, but I've heard it's going to be fun. I can't wait.
You see, she smiles as she collects your coin with a friendly nod.
You said hill giant?
Yes. Okay.
Alright, what about antitoxins? Or was that included in the...
Antitoxin is in the PHB, so you could certainly find that for PHB prices here in Waterdeep.
Okay. I agree with Dylan's assessment. We probably want a few more than one of those.
You can find as many as you would like to buy unless you go over, say, 30.
I was
I feel like
just-
that might be obsessive. If
I
we
would
need 30, then goodness.
If we need 30, we died like 6 times in a row.
Yeah, goodness. It's like when you get caught in that little spam of trying to heal yourself and run. Heal, run, heal, run.
Okay, so continue.
Harmony's
Yeah, go
gonna
ahead.
buy 5 more antitoxins, and she's gonna say, "Oh, I forgot we have this writ. Can we purchase that superior healing potion?"
Yes, she will agree to accept the writ. You'll notice that she does some documentation on the writ itself, writing her maker's mark, and then she asks you to sign another piece of paper that she has, and you notice it's sort of like a copy of what you have. It's like her record and your record. This is pretty common. You may not be familiar with this process already if you're not much on like the commerce of a big city, but the rest of the team, those who've been here before, would know.
Yeah. So just so we're clear, we're not giving her all 13,000, right?
Correct.
She's like okay. Yeah,
Right,
she's
so
taking
she, by
what
you
we need.
signing off on it, it gives her permission to basically go to the bank and take 1,000 of your gold out of the bank.
Okay.
Wait, Harmony, I don't. Come here over here first. I don't think you have signing privileges.
Well, do one of you?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk to somebody else. I can barely talk.
I'll sign it for you.
Just frickin' sign it. Jesus.
Jury, jury.
Eric.
Look, Gail's borderline illiterate. I'm just gonna speed this process up. I'll sign it for us.
Adam would throw you in
Thank you.
jail. They'll be all sidetracked. We'd have to break you out. Ugh,
The whole next session was the jail session.
Adam was
Not
like,
going back
sweet, this
to
was
jail."
easy to prep for.
Okay, so yes, you can deduct 1,000 off that writ. Again, I'm relying on Rasmus. You're essentially maintaining the writ value, right?
Yeah, even though I don't have it in my hand, I'll still maintain the value of it, sure.
Appreciate that. So yes, you deduct 1,000 from there, and she will hand you over the potion of superior healing.
And can we deduct the cost of the 5 antitoxins off that as well?
Let me look it up. I might just spend gold for that.
I think it's Harmony bought 5, so she just cares about us, not herself.
She already had one.
50 each. Okay.
I'm seeing 50 gold each.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I will deduct that from my personal gold, and I will have an army.
What?
carry.
Why? Harmony's like, paper is less valuable than gold.
It's literally the same value.
Understand.
See, there's something called. Oh God, I'm already fucking this up. I learned this in.
I've had many places except gold, but I have not had many places except paper.
We gotta
Fine.
figure out where Spectre learned Econ 101.
Yeah, man. There's a word for it where
Credit?
Coins get rotated from store to store, and it increases the value or something.
I was gonna say that the government insures the thing where the government insures the fucking
The
value.
full faith and credit of your...
Yes, faith and credit. That's thank you. So I will explain the
man.
concept of faith and credit to Harmony as we're checking out.
I have so much to learn.
Okay, so I will assume you guys are all set here at the Alchemist. Is there any other shopping for magic items that anybody's wanting to do?
Harmony is
Sell the
going to
gems.
ask around for a candle that can stay lit underwater.
Well, I don't know if that actually exists, but that sounds fairly easy to do, so I'm going to say yes, it works just like a normal candle, but it will stay lit underwater as long as you don't move it. And to clarify, this is not a specific item in the book you're looking for, it's like a custom item?
It's called a candle of the deep.
What book is that from? Do you know offhand?
Let me look.
To be honest,
it's on Pathfinder.
no, it's in Xanathar's. I think the first time I saw it in
Yeah,
a source book was
Xanathar's.
in... I want to say it's in the one... Yeah, it's in...
Oh, I
know
found
this
it.
is
Yeah,
a-
Xanathar's.
That's Xanathar's.
DD, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got. So it's an uncommon item. So roll a d6, Harmony. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a common item. This isn't even uncommon. So she'll sell it to you for 40 gold pieces.
Take it off the piece of paper.
Deduct 290 from the piece of paper.
Okay, I got it.
Peace and love.
All right. Last call for any other magic item shopping.
Well, I know Hugo's not there, but he would also probably be on the lookout for spell scrolls, just in general.
Yes. Okay. Sure. You can find a scribe here in the city. Is there specific ones you're looking for, or do you just want to hear the inventory that this particular shopkeep has?
Yeah, probably just whatever they have. He's not looking for specific, just anything to add to his book.
Okay. This spellkeep has blinding smite, comprehend languages, expeditious retreat, find traps, fog cloud, lesser restoration, stone skin, tensor's floating disc, and tree stride.
Okay. It's gonna try to buy definitely the comprehend language one.
Okay, D6 on that. They will sell that to you for 10 gold pieces.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, he takes it. And then is Expeditious?
First
I'm gonna
level wizard spell.
I'll take Expeditious Retreat as well, or I'll find out how much it costs first. But
Yep, another D6 on that one. 25 gold.
okay, yeah, he'll buy both of those, and then he buys whatever paper, the amount of paper he needs to record, or inks and whatever to record it into his book.
Sure, yep, they'll sell that to you just exactly as it's described in your class description. All right.
Okay, I'm hearing Rasmus's voice in my head that he wants us to sell the gems as well. Can we find a place to do that?
But also, before we leave the magic places, I don't see why we couldn't just put it in order for a ring of protection or two.
Yeah, let's head to our bets. We're coming back alive next time.
Yeah, let's see if we can do that, Adam. How does that work?
So essentially you go to a shop that you would hope would have it. If they don't, then you can say, this is what I'm looking for. You basically put down a down payment and they try to find it for you. There's no guarantee that they will find it, and you pay them regardless. So if they don't find it, you're paying basically their searching fee. You don't pay for the actual item, but it still can get kind of pricey. You can add money to their searching to make them more likely to find the things. I think it's every 100 gold you spend, it gives you a +1 to the modifier.
So what would be a ring of protection? What would be like the I would like to ask him about the finding or the making of a ring of protection for my person, please.
Okay. Yes, this shopkeeper that you approach and ask this question mentions that it is a kind of a popular item recently. He says he's seen this going through and he's sold like 3 in the last year, which is way more than he normally sells. So he says he can put the word out for you, but again, it may be a bit pricey. So how we factor this is a ring of protection is rare. So for a rare item, the price to purchase it is going to be 2d10 times 1,000 gold pieces. So you don't roll it yet because you won't know what the buyer or the seller wants for it. So, but keep in mind that if you roll, it could be 20,000 gold plus search fee. So just keep in mind. Now, on average, of course, it's going to be 11,000 gold.
Yeah, no. That's
Just make Bill roll for it.
Yeah, no. That's
well, you get it for free, and you get 5 of them.
Oh my goodness! Wow, I got to change the way I DM on Fridays.
Yeah, but I mean, you're thinking about it being the max die. It could also just be 2,000.
That's true.
But
No,
either way, guys,
I'm not gambling like that. I want to go to the summer festival.
just real quick, Adam. I know it's maybe me and Hugo went later, but they told me about that sword behind the counter. Is it a long sword by chance?
It is not. It's a short sword.
Okay, never mind then. But everybody, why don't we just use some of that money from the writ to buy that potion of invulnerability? That'll give one person resistance to all damage for a minute. So that'd be pretty much like having a barb.
I said,
Yeah, the money's
burn
not doing
that piece
anything
of
for
paper up.
anyway.
I mean, what else are we gonna do with it? And we need to sell those gems too. But that's just my 2 cents about it. I know you hear 4,500, you're like, whoa, but to be honest, that would be the difference. Let's say the poison gas breath or whatever the hell it is 70, right? That would half it to 35 if you failed to save. You know what I mean? And if you passed, then that would take that 35 down to, was that 18? You know what I mean? So it's a huge difference for one person, because that could be life or death, if everybody gets wiped and that one person lives.
So how much is left on the red after we buy the potion of invulnerability?
Hang on, let me do a calculator.
How about we also look at the sword since Rasmus brought it up, just to see. Can we do that, or has he already moved on?
No, you can. Yeah, you're just inquiring about a price, or are you trying to get more specific on what it does?
Either both.
All the above.
Okay, the shopkeeper, who seems a little bit ditzy, you're kind of surprised that this person has these kind of goods. You think maybe something's a little bit odd here. But he goes on after in great detail. You really have to pull this out of him. Very careful questioning, very precise questions. He lets you know that this is a sword of wounding. It is a short sword of wounding. Short swords of wounding, any hit points lost to the damage of the weapon can only be regained through a short or long rest, not by regeneration, magic, or any other means. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack using the magic weapon, you can wound the target. At the start of each of the wounded creature's turns, it takes 1d4 necrotic for each time you've wounded it, and can make a DC 15 con saving throw, ending the effect of all wounds on a success. Or a wounded creature or a creature within 5 feet can use a medicine check to end it. So essentially it's a stacking wound die. It's quite potent, especially with multiple hits.
Yeah. So, what's he want for it?
All right, that's the important question. So you asked how much he wants for it. Go ahead and roll me 2d10.
A lot.
You.
He
We can afford.
wants 16,000 gold pieces for it.
Yeah, fuck him. No.
What
Does he
is with
buy
inflation
gems?
in Waterdeep these days?
Everybody's gonna die soon.
Sell. That's items we have for a lot of gold.
Everyone's gonna die soon. Oh, you can't take your money with you, shopkeep.
Let me tell you about Tiamat.
No, that's a good reminder, Armini. Make sure you have all of your consumable materials that you need to bring us back and revivify.
Yeah.
all
We
that
should
shit.
definitely get her diamonds, like she
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
So-
That
You
you're
can certainly find diamonds for purchase here in Waterdeep. So if you say, like, I want a 300 gold piece diamond, you can find it.
same with Hugo. I know you have consumable materials. Make sure you get those while we're here.
I would
Yeah,
recommend, honestly, Libby, I would recommend getting a couple. We get our asses kicked all the time.
When we go to the gemstone proprietor, I'm interested in purchasing diamonds and selling the ones that we have.
So diamonds, like I say, you can buy those at face value. So if you want a 300 gold piece diamond, you would just deduct 300 gold piece and add a 300 gold piece diamond to your sheet. As far as selling the gems you have, are those listed in the treasure distribution?
Yep, Erethator. It's those same gems from Erethator's lair, Adam, that we found in the ice. It wasn't the cobalt stuff. It was when we were. Remember, we spent
Why
time.
do I feel like you guys did already sell these? I know you sold some of them, right?
No, they tried to, but they walked
We
away.
tried to, and then they were low.
Yeah, we tried to sell them, but what you're thinking of is we took 3 of them or 5 of. No, we took 3 of them because I have 17 left, and it gave them to those devils to give us that information.
There was also
So
a time where we left some behind, like in the cart.
Okay.
Yeah, but I picked those up.
For some
Oh
reason.
wait, that's why that's how they were scrying. Maybe that's how they were scrying on us in the cart. Anyway, sorry. There's a festival going on. Wow, look at the bright sun.
Have fun, Gail. The adults are talking.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so popcorn harmony.
So selling
Love
gems
popcorn.
is a little bit more not straightforward because obviously there's cut, clarity, someone who can get you that. So whoever would like to lead on this check, it's going to be essentially a gem cutters check plus a persuasion check. And if you have both, I'd give you advantage on the check if you have proficiency in both. Or if not, you're just going to make the one check, and that will determine how much you're able to get for these.
Go nuts, Kurtu.
I don't know why you guys think I have training in persuasion, because
Well, who does?
You
That's who-
not?
I do.
Yeah,
but I'm
that-
not there.
Me.
Everybody just thinks sorcerer must have charisma skills, right?
yeah, but I'm also a tiny kobold. I didn't expect to be, Anyway,
Somehow Kurtu's screechy voice doesn't get the best prices. Is that what you're saying?
mean,
I
Adam,
I took
I
I
can-
took deception instead. So,
Adam, I
which
can
rolled
do the
twice.
selling. I could do the selling, Adam, but it would be like later. I would
Yeah. We don't
after I went.
We don't necessarily need the money right now. Just
Yeah,
before
we're
leave.
time warping a little bit here because it's all off time, so no worries. So yeah, let's try to let's do this so I can get an actual price written down for these two because I know the set value, but I feel like you guys have gotten these appraised at a few different places. So yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check there, Rasmus.
All right. You know what, Adam? Let's throw that inspiration on here.
Okay.
Let's make some money. Hopefully.
Okay, so as you're shopping around, you surprisingly find a merchant here who seems to be very interested in these gems. As he starts looking at them and the cut and the quality, you hear him mention sort of offhand that he's trying to put together a tiara for a special request that somebody's put in, and it's supposedly for this like really high prestige individual. And he says, this will essentially make his entire career and set him for life. And as you start showing him these gems, this is when he starts mentioning this to you, how perfect these would be in the tiara. He says he will buy all of them off of you for 3,500 gold.
That ain't bad.
Okay, look, that sounds great to me, and I hope the tiara is beautiful. But in addition, could you invite me over for dinner?
He wants to know if you want dinner at his house. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. I want to
He
come over,
agrees
and I want you to
quickly.
cook.
He agrees
Sure,
immediately. Yes.
Yeah, I'll take that. And the gold, and here's your gems. Very
Okay.
nice. And if I find more in the future, do you want me to bring them to you?
You see, he smiles and says, "I won't even be in business anymore after this because I'm going to be set."
Nice. Okay, well, good.
All right, so you can add 3,500 gold, deduct the 17 stones from Orthorder's lair, and yes, you have made one shopkeeper incredibly happy.
Nice roll.
Good thing I threw that inspiration on there. Did you guys want to, we took that potion of invulnerability as well? You want to say yes on that?
Yeah, it's probably.
Yeah, we need to get that
Smart.
for sure.
And that will help in any situation because we don't necessarily know we're going after Nerenbane.
Does somebody else want to carry that, or should I add it to mine?
I think as the healer, you should take it and you should drink it when we fight the dragon. That's just my opinion, though.
Hey, that may be it, right?
If the healer dies, the raid dies.
I'm adding it to my list.
Cool. And then 3,500 gold pieces. Let me do some math, guys.
All right.
Hey,
well,
Adam.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw in chat. That potion that I've had for like 8 levels, the potion of frost or whatever, I gave to our healer as well. Since I keep forgetting I have it. So.
I googled frost lotion and nothing came up.
I was going to say that could be dangerous. I remember, yeah, this is from a long time ago. This is all the way back in Dragon of Icefire Peak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's
got
the
it from
information.
that
Good.
guy.
I was
Is
just
it-
going to go looking for my details, but if you've got it, excellent.
Yeah, I put it in my bio, but I also have it on my front page there, but I just keep forgetting about it. So
Right.
it's
So
like
the
I'll just give it to the
idea.
healer.
So the idea there was if you suffer fire damage and only fire damage, right? So let's
Right.
say you took 10 points of fire damage. If you apply that fire solution, it's an action to apply it. If you apply it within 1 minute of taking fire damage, you can restore 2d4 plus 2 HP back. So think of it sort of as like a healing potion, but it only works if you've been hit with fire, and it can only restore as much fire damage as you've taken. So if you take 1 point of fire damage, it's only going to heal you 1.
So, Kurtu, when you roll a natural 1 and your fireball explodes on you, you can get your health back.
But I may also be resistant, so I may only take 100 points of damage.
It's basically D&D Aloe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just one of those. I just keep forgetting about it, so it's like I might as well give it to the healer. She remembers all the healing stuff.
I did the math there too, guys.
Do my
So make
best.
sure everybody adds 583 gold pieces. That's each.
From the gems, how much again?
583 each. Yeah, here's your bag. Here's your bag. Hugo, Harmony. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate
Here's your
that.
big bags. Bonk, bonk.
Okay, any other shopping that anyone wants to do before we move on?
Well, yeah, now I'm gonna buy 2 more potions of healings for $100.
You can do that.
I'm hoping Hugo just goes on a research rampage and finds everything out about Narenvane, down to like his date of birth, how many kids he's got.
All right, so I'm closing out all the magic item tabs now because nobody else is doing more magic item shopping. So what I will say, just FYI for future reference, you guys didn't go to any kind of weaponsmith, so no magic weapons. You guys didn't go to the armor smith, who would have magic armors and shields, that kind of stuff. And there's also in in Waterdeep, there is what are known as wandrites that sell magic wands. So you guys spent a whole lot of time here seeing what you could find, had a purpose, all of that. But in the future, if there's something of those that you want, keep that in mind. All right,
Or
so
tomorrow after the festival.
you potentially could if you want more shopping episode next week. But all right, so research. Let's see, between Hugo and Rasmus, both of you guys give me a blind check. I'm going to take both of your checks added together here for applying to a total. Gail, you go into the festival and you're essentially trying to do this as something to enjoy along with Harmony, and you're not seeking to do anything in particular other than just have some R&R, right?
Yeah, I'm just playing my Spring Eladrin. I have like 2 corn dogs in my hand and a funnel cake in my mouth. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you have a very nice, relaxing time here at the festival. You notice very much a family event. There's families kind of moving about, kids, parents. There's a lot of hanging balloons that are stylized like these sun shapes. You can see there's a lot of folks walking around that are dressed in these stylistic robes that are casting like prestidigitation to make just little rays of sunshine pop on people randomly. It seems to be all around a very joyful and sort of festive event. So the two of you have a good time during that, resting and relaxing. Nothing untoward happens there, nothing that causes any concern, just a very fun time.
Excellent. It made me smile. Thank you, Adam.
Yes.
Let's get churros.
There you go. Okay, and then adding together our checks here. So you guys said you're looking specifically about Narenvane. So I'm adding together both of your numbers. Okay. The two of you spend basically, I will say, 7 hours out of the day, with 1 hour that you did for some shopping. You do not find mention of the name Narenvane anywhere. This is not in any kind of historical documents. You don't find this in any treaty documents. You don't find this anywhere. So either you guys both rolled really bad here, or it's just not a very common name.
Okay, cool. And one quick thing: was there any? Were they able to find me any maps? Find Hugo some maps for the
Yes.
area and.
So there are cartographers here that will happily sell you some maps. Now, I will just say, out of game, if you wish to basically buy a fully detailed map of the Sword Coast, I'm happy to reveal all of the sites to you. It may be overkill. It may be too much detail, but you let me know if that's what you're wanting to do. And then obviously, aside from secret things, that I won't reveal those. And also, there are some very small locations that won't be on the world map either. So, for example, that particular village that you were looking for that has the charter, it's not even large enough to be documented on the map.
Okay. In that case, I guess as also part of the research, if you could try to just find out the location of that place.
So you're able to find the location. It is northeast of the Lost Peaks. The closest thing I would say for a point of reference for you is Neverwinter. So if you go straight east from Neverwinter, this village is supposed to be in this general area.
Okay.
Oh, actually,
and then
you guys aren't even on that map, so you didn't see what I was pointing to. Hang on one sec. Okay, so here's Neverwinter, and this village is in this area here.
Okay. All right. So it's pretty far away.
It is, yes, very remote.
I mean, I don't think we need a full overkill map. I don't know how you guys feel, but he would like to just keep it with him just so if it comes up that they need to know where someplace possibly is, he can reference it.
Okay, so what I will say is you can get a basic map that would basically just give you the names, and that's it, and that would cost you 25 gold of all of the Sword Coast. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a cartographer. Don't I have map of the place I've been doing?
Not a detailed map of the entire Sword Coast, no. You probably have a map of the areas that you've explored. I know you've mentioned that you're trying to document things, but if you don't stop into a town or whatnot, you're not going to know what's there.
Yeah, okay. That's very smart of you, Hugo. That's nice. To make a good one.
So 25 gold pieces for a very basic map. Again, this would just give you names of things. If you're willing to spend 150 gold pieces, then you would get a more detailed map that has the names and some brief details about the locations that are there. Or if you're willing to go really expensive and spend 1,000 gold for a map, you'll get all the names, the details, and you'll get advantage on any history checks you have to make based on the references and footnotes that are associated with the map.
Oh, that's...
You know, go big or go home. Hugo's a studious person now, so he says, bring on the most information you can, and he'll pay the 1,000.
You know what? No, I will help you. I would love to look at that map. Can I spend 500 gold pieces? We go halvesies? Is Leroy...
Just take it out of the writ.
Okay.
Take it out of the red.
Yeah,
Take it out of the red.
Yeah, you have an IOU, right? Let's spend an IOU on this.
So
not even that.
Whoever's holding this on your person, I'm assuming it's Hugo, but if you guys decide otherwise, make sure to write down expert map of Sword Coast, and then in parentheses put advantage on history checks.
Okay.
Harmony's like,
this one's got dragons drawn on it. It's cool.
Cool. That looks very good. It's funny. Harmony's like, spend the paper money. It's worth nothing. These people.
Exactly.
It's like when you get a gift card. Just use a gift card.
Can Harmony put a priest pack on the writ?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you just gotta tell me how much. 19?
It's like $20.
Yep.
Making me do weird ass math.
On history checks, right? For those places.
Advantage on history checks. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's it for me.
Just as a reminder, even Hugo, and like really look at your spells. If there's any consumable materials, you should buy them here. And also for Harmony, if there's any consumable materials.
She bought those diamonds already.
Yeah, but there's sometimes it could be overlooked.
That's why I'm getting the priest pack for the incense.
Oh yeah, yep.
All right, guys. So as we are at the end of our session time here, you're still in Waterdeep. If there's any additional shopping you wish to do, anything PHB specific, make sure feel free to do that. Just deduct the gold, on your honor, and add the stuff to your sheet. If there's any special things that you're wanting to buy or putting any orders in for magic items, put that in Discord between now and next week so we can try to get those details hammered away and get started. Just to give us a good shipping off point, You guys, the 2 days are going to pass by here, and again, if there's stuff you want to do in between there, shopping, whatever, feel free to do that. But after the 2 days pass by, you guys head back to Dala and speak with her. She lets you know that there is a representative of the Emerald Enclave that was wanting to speak to you, and she essentially gives you the opportunity here that this would be kind of a midway between some of you guys wanting to go straight to the council and be revealed. She says if you guys want to meet with him specifically, he has a request to make of her. She's happy to talk with him, get all the details, or if you wanted to speak with him in person, she's also okay with that. She says she really trusts this person. She's worked with him in the past. She knows he's on the up and up, so she feels comfortable with this, but again, only if you want to.
I vote yes. Let's meet some new people.
I vote no.
I just hope he knows the password.
So
Harmony
it's
loves to meet new people.
So 2 yeses, 1 no.
Hugo will meet with him, sure. He's trying to make connections.
What'd you say, Jordan?
I don't think I said anything. I'm thinking about it. But it sounds like we're at least 3 and 3, so in favor of meeting the guy.
The people that want to remain anonymous can still
You
not.
could, and yeah, it could be partial if you wish. If some of you want to meet with him and some of you don't, completely up to you. But think about that for next week, and then when we pick up next week, that's what we'll start with. So essentially, this is a representative of the Emerald Enclave that is, he's the Emerald Enclave is one of the factions that makes up the council. So he is the leader of the Emerald Enclave here, not the leader of the Emerald Enclave overall, but he's like the ambassador of the Emerald Enclave. So he's here to speak on their behalf and put in a request essentially to Dala. And again, if you guys want to be in that conversation, you're welcome to. All right, so that's our send-off place. Gives you an idea of what will be occurring when we start next week. We'll go ahead and wrap up tonight's session. Hope everybody enjoyed it. If anything pops up between now and next week, feel free to reach out. Other than that, everybody have a great night, and we will see you next week.
Yep.
Sounds good. Have
Good night,
a good week,
everybody.
all.
Good stuff, everybody.